What's happening, everybody? It's the Cenobites, back to raise some hell. Today, we're talking about our first trauma movie, and possibly our last.
Wrong.
It's the black comedy splatter film from 1984. We're talking about the Toxic Avenger. I'm Dusty Lane.
I'm Jason Mitchell.
And we are the Cenobites.
Hello?
I came for you. We have such sights to show you.
It was an excellent day for an exorcism.
I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
Don't play me.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. This is God.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
Put your brothers into that door!
But sometimes that is better.
Welcome back to Oblivion, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned up top, we're talking about the Toxic Avenger from 1984 today, directed by Michael Hers and Lloyd Kaufman, although he was credited in this movie as Samuel Weil.
Yeah, the fuck.
What's up with that? Did even Lloyd Kaufman, Uncle Lloyd, did he not want his name attached to this fucking depravity?
He was unsure. But I guess with the success that came later, huh?
Well, give us some details of a little bit of that success. What do you have under Lloyd's filmography here?
So, this is kind of crazy. I just kind of grabbed a few because Troma is the longest running indie film studio in the world.
What?
Founded in 1974.
What?
They've produced, acquired, and distributed thousands of indie films.
Oh my god.
Their current, tagline, quote, they got 50 years of disrupting media.
Hell yeah.
So I just noted a few here. Obviously, Toxie 84. We got Toxic Avenger Part 2, 1989. And the Toxic Avenger Part 3, The Last Temptation of Toxie. Also from 89. And
that's never a good sign when you have two movies in the same year.
Right. And evidently it was one long film. And
they broke it in half?
Yeah, when they got into editing, they decided to split it. And they didn't release it at the same time, but they were really close, and the idea was to watch both.
Okay.
We got Citizen Toxie, which is Toxic Avenger Part 4. That's from 2000, so 11-year time span on that. It's kind of crazy.
Right.
We have the reboot, which is just the Toxic Avenger, releasing on August 29th?
I believe so.
This one has been ready for a few years. It hit film festivals in 2023, but we're just now getting the release this year.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy to me. And that's kind of why we're doing this, to tie into the release of that, finally, after however long. We've also had a little bit of a theme this summer of, just campy 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Over-the-top kind of shit, but yeah, this one in particular is the over-the-topest by far.
Couple more. We got the Class of Nukem High series. There's 5 movies there, and that's also in Tromaville. Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD from 1990. That's a superhero.
Man.
Yeah. Tromeo and Juliet, which is like a take on Shakespeare.
And I assume adorable.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Terror Firmer from 1999.
Oh, I'm sorry, Terra Firmer?
Terror Firmer.
Oh, Terror Firmer.
Terror
that's
Firmer.
even better. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You can't tell me these guys aren't clever at the very least.
Right. And then one more, Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead from 2006.
That's one of the funniest fucking film titles I've ever heard. That's perfect. I love it. Oh my god.
Yeah, but there's, like I said, literally thousands.
Yeah, we don't have time for you to list any more than you already done.
There is Troma Now, which is a streaming service, so if you are loving Troma, you can get it all in one place.
Yeah, if you're a Tromet or a Tromer, go ahead over there and check that all out for sure. This movie, the story written by Lloyd Kaufman, the screenplay by Joe Ritter, and additional material credited on IMDb to Gay Partington Terry, credited as Gay Terry.
Motherfucking Gay Terry.
Produced by Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hers as well, distributed by Troma Entertainment. Rated R, obviously. 82-minute runtime, not too bad running out of this one.
Shit, yeah. Keep it 90 or under, dude. I love 82.
There's certainly merit to a lot of movies, branching off into that 2 hour territory. I feel like 3 is a lot. Some of them reach, those heights, and I feel like that's not really necessary. You can probably tell your story more economically and cut out some of that.
Unless it's
because
an
nobody
old
wants to be
gangster.
sitting in a fucking theater for 3 hours, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what the movie is.
Unless it's an old gangster flick, there's no reason.
An old gangster flick? Why should an old gangster flick be 3
They're
hours?
all 3 hours long, dude. Scarface,
Yeah.
Goodfellas, Casino. But that's a whole nother world, I mean.
Right. Speaking of a whole nother world, we are set in this movie in Tromaville, New Jersey, which is a fictional town just across the river from NYC.
Hell yeah.
And in this movie, long story short, the nerdiest nerd that ever nerded in the crimiest wasteland that ever wasted falls into the toxicest toxic waste that ever toxied and becomes the grossest hero that ever heroed.
That's accurate. I like that.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Cast, I wanted to lead kind of like chronologically through the telling of the story. So I started with Mark Torgl playing Melvin, the mop boy Ferd.
Fucking Melvin's face pisses me off. But
He's
good casting, man.
So irritating. Absolutely. And he was just a trauma guy. He was the script supervisor on this movie.
Holy shit.
Yeah, crazy,
Talk
right?
about right place at the right time.
Right.
Wow.
But I wanted to round out my Toxie scope here. We've got Mitch Cohen playing Toxie, the physical body post-transformation. And then after that transformation takes place, we've got Kenneth Kessler doing the voice.
Right.
Which, it's crazy that it turns from me like, oh, gee, I don't smell nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Oh my God, he's so fucking grating. And then, when he turns into Toxie, all of a sudden, he's got this very eloquent and articulate voice that he can deliver, like, oh, don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. Please,
right.
come with me. Where the fuck did that come from? I don't know, but we've got his girlfriend, Andrea Miranda, which is her only acting credit. She was apparently the girlfriend of the movie's main financial backer, so talk about right place, right time. She did audition for the role, but she was,
wow,
cashed in. Gary Schneider playing Bozo, Robert Pritchard playing Slug, Cindy Mannion playing Julie, and Jennifer Baptist playing Wanda. This is our group of ne'er-do-wells in the movie. They're, this is not our main protagonist, but certainly in the upper echelon of that for this movie.
Right.
Speaking of Jennifer Baptist, there's a bit of unethical filmmaking involving her we'll discuss later.
Oh, shit.
We've got Pat Ryan as Mayor Belgoody, Dick Martinson as Officer O'Clancy, Dan Snow as Cigarface, which you think he is taken out in this movie, but he reprises his role in later films. We've got Doug Isbeck, I'm going to pronounce it, as his
Knuckles.
Minion. Yeah, it's Cigarface's minion Knuckles. And then Charles Lee Jr. playing Nipples.
Yeah, Nux and Nips.
We got Larry Sultan playing Frank, who is one of the guys that holds up the Mexican restaurant later. And he was an actual amputee.
Oh,
when the arm is ripped off, the reason he was cast is because he was already missing his right arm.
Oh, nice.
And it's actually him handling the knife in that one scene, too.
Cool.
Patrick Kilpatrick playing Leroy. He went on to be in a bunch of shit. Michael Russo playing Rico, which is the karate guy in the Mexican restaurant. Mm-hmm. And he actually had a pretty successful stunt career following this, too. So,
nice.
They mentioned that trauma gave a lot of people their start, and this is evidence of that. Even a stunt performer, on this movie ends up carrying his career through that. So maybe there's a bit of charm with trauma that we don't realize. You know what I mean? Go get involved in a project with them and you'll do well.
Right.
Cinematography in this movie by James London and Lloyd Kaufman himself. Music, I've got some original songs within the movie by Dean Summers and Mark Hoffman, but Delmar Brown is also credited with a bunch of the score segments. In terms of special effects and gore, we've got Jennifer Aspinall, who started with this in Spookies and went on to have a huge career in special effects makeup.
Motherfucking Spookies?
Oh, yeah.
Nice, dude.
She worked on things like Mulholland Drive, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Wow.
Gone in 60 Seconds. More recently, working on things like Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain Marvel, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Holy shit.
She fucking has done her thing.
I think what we're realizing is trauma is that label that people don't want to admit they like it because it can be kind of sleazy, but...
Well, here's something about human nature that, we all have some of those dark impulses that we know that we can't and shouldn't and would be wrong to act on, so you live vicariously through things this on the screen. At least you can watch it and kind of get it out of your system that way, so you don't actually do it, I guess. I don't know. People are fucked up is my point. But she was also assisted by Tom Lawton and Ralph Cordero in this movie. Got a few taglines for you. Melvin was a 90-pound weakling until nuclear waste transformed him into the Toxic Avenger. Also, the first superhero from New Jersey.
Right. Oh, yeah.
What about Jason? I would call him a superhero. He's a superhero in my heart.
Is he from Jersey?
Jason?
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that where fucking Camp Crystal Lake is,
have
dude?
To shut this podcast the fuck down.
I thought Camp Crystal Lake was like Springfield, dude. There's like one everywhere.
I'm sorry, everyone. This is actually the last episode of the Cenobites because Jason... What do you mean you didn't know Jason Voorhees is from New Jersey? Yes!
Fuck, I don't know.
1,000% yes. Quiz me real quick.
I'm glad he doesn't fucking talk.
Where's Freddie from? Springwood? What state?
Illinois.
Nope, the one you live in, motherfucker. Ohio.
Springwood, Ohio?
Ohio.
Haddonfield's Illinois, right?
Haddonfield is Illinois. That's
I knew
Mikey.
that.
And then, Crystal Lake, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, you say Springfield?
Springwood.
Springwood.
Yeah, he's a Springwood slasher, remember?
Springwood.
The Springwood splasher.
She's a Springwood splasher.
Sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to be gross. But yeah, lastly, he was 98 pounds of solid nerd until he became the Toxic Avenger. Before this movie, Trauma focused on sex comedies like Squeeze Play and Cry Uncle, which I don't even want to fucking know what that one's about. But once this was released, it really established the Trauma formula moving forward, as well as securing a following for the production company. In 1975, Lloyd Kaufman was working as a pre-production supervisor on the set of Rocky, and he had the idea to shoot a horror movie involving a health club. Originally titled Health Club Horror, later redubbed to the Toxic Avenger. Troma is also credited with giving a lot of household names their start, including directors James Gunn and Oliver Stone.
Damn.
Actors Vincent D'Onofrio, Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Costner, Billy Bob Thornton, Carmen Electra, Vanna Friggin' White, and Marissa Tomei, who makes a brief cameo appearance in this movie.
Damn.
And they also influenced directors like Quentin Tarantino, Eli Roth, Takashi Miike, Trey Parker, and Matt Stone. So yes, it's raunchy and downright exploitative material, but that's Troma's calling card.
Mm-hmm.
Through that, they've been hugely influential in the horror world, so...
Crazy.
Can't knock them, dude.
Right.
You ready to get into this movie or what, man?
I gotta pay.
We open with a warning! The Toxic Avenger contains scenes of extreme violence. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say.
That's a good start, man.
Thanks for the
I like
heads
seeing
up.
I like seeing that at the start of a movie. Just know it's gonna be good.
Yeah, anything that tries to tell you at least, hey, this is gonna be fucked up.
Right.
Or, hey, this is based on a true story.
Yeah, I like it.
So we get a shot of the NYC skyline from across the water. We got the Empire State Building, Chrysler Building. A shot of the World Trade Center towers. Oof.
Right.
That hits you right in the breadbasket whenever you see that in a movie.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's around more than a lot of people remember.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, yeah. And then a narrator kicks in and he goes, New York City, world capital of culture and industry. Here among the towering skyscrapers, civilization is guided by men of progress and the wonders of technology. But for all this industrial advancement, there is a price to pay. Pollution, the unavoidable byproduct of today's society. And all the while this guy's giving this introduction, the camera pans down into a junkyard and toxic waste dump in New Jersey.
Right. Right.
And he explains that every year millions of gallons of poisonous waste, garbage, and radioactive materials are disposed of in nearby towns like Tromaville.
Damn.
Which the camera then dissolves to a shot of a park right next to the sign leading into town that actually claims as a point of pride that they are the toxic chemical capital of the world.
Yeah, damn.
Weird flex, dude.
Right.
We cut to a shot of the Tromaville Health Club where they're celebrating National Fitness Week with two-for-one aerobics classes. Who doesn't want to cash in on that?
Oh, shit, yeah.
There's also a one-day free trial, so this place is pretty progressive for 84. But you better get your shit figured out in that one visit.
Right.
We get in our intro of the nerdiest fucking nerd you've ever seen, Melvin Ferd.
Fucking Melvin is too much.
He's the mop boy at the health club here. He starts mopping the shower area, and we break into our opening credit montage, which is just chock full of fucking glistening muscles, boobs, butts, and over-the-top gay-coded characters. Particularly when the title card drops over these two dudes in G-strings and neckerchiefs.
Right, dude.
one of which is holding a Playgirl or something. There's tons of close-ups through this thing and zooms of people's naughty bits, and the song Body Talk by Sandy Farina plays, which sounds suspiciously close to Let's Get Physical by Olivia Newton-John.
No, it's pretty close, yeah.
I like the one lady lifting weights while her boyfriend is sucking on her neck and feeling her up at the same time. Guys, wait until after the workout. Jeez.
I mean, dude, you're just, blood's flowing.
Right? There's a little skinny guy trying to use one of the machines when Bozo grabs him by the hair and tosses him off so he can use it. And guaranteed, he just did a couple lines. His fucking eyes are bulging out of his skull as he gets his reps in.
Oh, dude, he's a fucking lunatic. Who works out like this?
Dude. Just Boswell, I gotta pump this fucking iron.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
We get a quick sequence of an aerobics class that this one lady is in, but she's also kind of just idly dancing back and forth while eating a bag of chips. And she's got a candy bar in each back pocket.
Yeah, the health club ain't working for her, but...
Yeah, not so much. Back to Melvin for a second. He's got one bell-bottom pant leg rolled up while he's mopping, so he doesn't get it wet, I guess?
I think he's just weird. I don't know if it's on purpose necessarily.
We cut to the mayor laying on a massage table, getting massaged while laying next to a fucking sub sandwich that's as tall as he is.
Fuck yeah.
Not really sure what the angle is there.
So I really didn't realize that, I thought this was just kind of like the oversized chick working out in the yoga thing. Here's another big guy that's at the health center too. But we end up catching this scene a little later, and it all kind of makes sense.
It never makes sense, Jason. I'm sorry. Laying on a massage table. First of all, you're not working out at the health club. You are just laying down while someone rubs you and you eat a fucking sandwich.
Yeah, but he's there collecting.
Yeah, well, I know that part, but I
he's
don't
getting
understand.
a rub and tizzug. He's not there for the health club benefits, Dusty.
Clearly.
He's getting a rub and tizzug and picking up, you know what I mean?
Well, we get back to some actual movie here, and we join Bozo, Julie, Slug, and Wanda. They're in the hot tub bitching about Melvin, and Bozo's like, would you take a look at that fucking guy? Dumb mop boy, he can't even mop right.
Right.
And it shows Melvin slapping this dirty mop in the face of some poor guy in the pool.
Dude, it's so fucking funny. It's like you see him kind of mopping, Bozo starts bitching, and then you cut back, and Melvin doesn't realize he's dragging the mop over somebody's head that's in the fucking pool.
I don't know how this dude wasn't fired long before any of the events of this movie.
So awesome.
Maybe he's related to the owner or something. But Slug, who strangely looks a lot like Corey Feldman.
Yeah, a little bit.
He says Melvin's always got a shit-eating grin on his face and his terrible delivery of, what's he so happy about? But he walks over to the group in the hot tub, and Bozo's like, Julie, you smell something? She's like, what's that stink? And speaking of stinkers, Melvin responds, oh, gee, that's funny. I don't smell nothing. Dude, you guys, you gotta watch this fucking movie to understand.
Right, fucking Melvin.
Just how grating this fucking character really is. Like, not that I'm excusing anything that Bozo in the group does.
Right.
But man.
He's almost asking for it.
His boss yells at him to clean up the toilets because it stinks, and he dips the mop into the hot tub instead of his mop bucket.
Yeah.
And the group freaks out and gets up out of the hot tub. Bozo grabs Melvin and calls him a fucking asshole, and unfortunately the R word a couple times, which isn't great, but again, the 80s, as we always say, was a different time.
Right.
Not that Troma gives a single fuck what time it is.
No, absolutely not.
But it's kind of funny that Slug just keeps repeating everything everyone else says. Fucking Wanda's like, you want me to go and get a fucking disease? He was even repeating that, but
right.
He even repeats Melvin when he says that he didn't mean it. But Bozo warns him that the next time he fucks with him, he's going to shove his mop down his throat. And then he tells his girlfriend, Julia, that Melvin's stressing him the fuck out as he clutches his hair and screams. He's like, I can't take it. He's screwing up my karma. Like, just full voice fucking bellowing into this gym.
He is fucking roided or something.
He stomps
cocaine.
Away. No, that's the truck drivers yet to come. But Julie bitches at Melvin for stressing Bozo out, which he tries to apologize for, but she also screams. I guess just because Melvin's talking to her. Like, how dare you, twerp? And she fucking flips her hair and storms off.
Yeah, stupid.
Then Melvin goes to a mirror in the health club to inspect his own guns, which I half expect to droop like when he flexed. I expected it to droop like a fucking cartoon. This dude is super twiggy.
Right.
We catch Bozo back at the machine, getting some reps in while Slug stands over him smoking, by the way, in the gym.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But he tells Bozo to keep it up, but remember, there's only one muscle you got to worry about. And he grabs his dick, which prompts Bozo to grab his dick. And then Slug warns him that he needs to work on his gut because he's getting a little flabby. Bozo's like, fuck you, dude, I ain't got no fat. And then he discovers some, which makes him lay back down on the machine and go that much harder.
Psycho.
Slug and Wanda, by the way, they met on set, but went on to be married for 18 years, so can't be all that bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
So the two of them wander into the locker room, right? They start getting hot and heavy until Wanda asks him if she's sure no one will come in and catch him, and he's like, oh yeah, I paid Tony $15. The place is ours till tomorrow morning.
Wow.
Ew.
Dude, I mean, I hate to point it out, but this is a gym locker room. This probably isn't the place you want to be fucking.
Yeah, not so much.
It's dirty in there.
I get the risky, like the exciting risky element of it all,
right.
But like, man.
Might as well be a wrestling mat.
Right.
It'd be dirty in there, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a thought.
Slug doesn't mind, though. He grabs a bottle of Jaeger out of his locker, and Wanda sees a newspaper article about the hit-and-run killer, who is apparently struck again, and asks him if she can come the next time him and Bozo go out driving. Oh, fuck me, they're the killers? And proud of it, displaying this fucking article in his locker?
Right. Yeah, what the fuck?
Dude, don't ever be a pedestrian in Tromaville. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, we learned that over this next hour or so.
They get all horny talking about the details of running someone over. It's like, oh, they never know what's coming. They just stand there as we drive faster and faster until we hit them. The beautiful crunching sound and the car dragging the bodies, all that gorgeous blood. Oh, boy, doesn't that just turn you on, Jason? You got a little chub over there or what?
I think I'm okay, actually. But yeah, strange, right?
Well, it sure seems to do something for Wanda. She drags Slug down onto the bench and they start doing it.
Oh, yeah.
That's when Melvin walks in and starts hearing noises, and he follows them with a furrowed brow until he discovers them mid-coitus and just stares at him fucking grinning. And they're like, get the fuck out of here, you pervert. And Wanda pulls a switchblade on him.
Coitus? Who's Curtis?
I don't know nobody named Curtis. We cut to later that night where the vehicular manslaughterers are cruising around in their pretty sick car, honestly. It's an older white muscle car. I'm not sure what make and model, but...
It's all right, minus the flames.
I was going to say, it's got cool flame decals on the side. You don't like the flame decal? They make this car at least 20% cooler.
Terrible.
I was thinking about putting some on my ride. Wouldn't that be boss?
Little flame stickers on the doors. It's
Yeah,
not like
man.
It's got, like, flame paint
Spice
on the
up the old
hood.
toaster? Why not?
This is, like, just on the door.
Yeah.
Real shitty looking.
Inside the car, Bozo is quizzing Julie on the rules of the car murder game. And she struggles to remember the whole list as Bozo sounds like he's on the verge of coming in his pants. Like, oh yeah, tell it to me. Come on. Give me all the fucking things.
The points, what are they?
Oh my God. She goes through a whole list of racial slurs, which we will not be listing here, which are all worth 25 points, but Puerto Ricans are worth 30 for some reason. Kids under 12 are worth double points.
Damn, dude.
And we cut to a close-up shot of the driver door that has a bunch of decals on it. There's like somebody on a bike, there's like a little kid, a baby stroller, a dog, and there's all a bunch of like slashes through them.
Yeah, if they were actually looking for this guy, it probably wouldn't be too hard. Hey, there's the car with the fucking number of everybody that's been hit on the side of it.
Oh my God, dude, that's crazy. But when she says the kids under 12 line, we cut to a little kid about to take a nighttime bike ride. His name is Skippy.
Yeah, oh, Skippy's getting his helmet on.
Yeah. And his sister runs out and makes sure he doesn't forget that.
Yeah, be careful out there.
Sweet little sibling relationship. He rides off. We cut back to the car, and Bozo asks Julie if it counts if he just grazes him, and she's like, hell no, you gotta destroy him. She's like, Bozo, I want him dead. And they both take a swig out of a whiskey bottle. Slug and Wanda are getting all handsy in the back seat, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And Bozo starts getting impatient. He's like Arnold. He's like, come on, where the fuck is everybody?
Yeah.
And that's when poor Skippy turns onto the road and they happen to be on. And he gets all excited, fucking, oh, kid on a bicycle, fucking piece of candy.
Yeah. Ooh, piece of candy.
Apparently it's 28 points if he gets the kid and the bike.
Wow, an extra 3 points for the bike.
It doesn't seem worth it, right?
That doesn't really...
It's going to cause further damage to your car, isn't it?
I would think so, yeah.
You got to double the points for that one at least.
That's what I'm thinking. Julie.
They drive up closer to get a good look at this kid. And Wanda thinks he's cute. Her legs are also hanging onto the car, by the way. She's like, out pretty late, aren't you, honey? And they speed past him with Wanda telling Bozo, all right, the coast is clear. And he fucking tromps on the gas pedal. It's got a pile of beer cans next to it, by the way. And then he puts the car in reverse to do a little 180, and then he comes back toward the kid. He puts the pedal to the fucking metal and smashes into this kid head on. Sends his bike flying, and poor Skippy tumbling over the car, looking very much like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Dude, this is great. Like, looking back, this is definitely a stuntman. There's no fake CGI computer bullshit happening here.
I'd be tossing a dummy at that car, dude.
They could have, but it looks like it's a guy. It looks fantastic, actually. Did a great job.
Yeah, it's not bad. We see this poor kid trying to drag himself back to safety while blood pours out of his mouth, and his front tire just spins on the ground next to him. Now, apparently this scene was inspired by a real-life event that happened to Kaufman. He was backing up out of his garage one day and hit his little sister.
Oh, shit.
Not hard, she was okay, but it still, haunted him, and so seeing this vision, his vision of what that event could have been, is still pretty fucking bleak when you think about it like that.
Yeah, holy fuck.
But Wanda tells him, he's like, she goes, oh yeah, you get full points, until she realizes the kid's still moving.
Right.
So he's like, oh yeah, no way, I'll show you no way. And he puts the car in reverse and speeds backwards, putting a tire over this kid's head, crushing it completely.
Explosion of brains.
Apparently this effect was achieved with a cantaloupe with a wig on it. And Michael Hers and Lloyd Kaufman both credit each other as being the one that came up with it.
Nice.
But these sick fucks still aren't done. The girls get out of the car with Polaroid cameras to take pictures of this kid's corpse, while Slug congratulates Bozo on full points.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Nice.
Jesus. The body looks gross as hell up close, of course. Lots of good gore effects in here from Jennifer Aspinall and crew.
Oh, yeah.
The girls celebrate and check out their pictures, saying they're going to be the best ones they've ever taken. And Bozo's still buzzing from the high of the vehicular murder, and he's like, oh, I got to do it again. I got to do it again. But then Slug's like, nah, man, I can't. I got church in the morning.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, my God. Yeah, all that tracks. Fucking religious hypocrisy and all that jazz. But, yeah, we have to put praying back in school so the children can pray to end abortion. God knows that's the only way to do it. We have the greatest prayers this side of the River Jordan, which will be a Trump property soon enough.
Y'all need Jesus.
Well, funny enough, the group all totally understands that logic. They're all like, oh, yeah, okay. And they end their night. We cut back to the health club and another aerobics class. The overtly stereotypically gay instructor of said class stops everyone. He's like, oh, you all look pitiful. How many times do I have to tell you? Do exactly what I do. If I kick my right foot, you kick your right foot, okay? Meanwhile, Slug's creeping up toward him, pulling a snake out of his gym bag and putting it down this guy's shirt as he talks.
Right. Damn, dude.
And this dude counts off the dance again. And when he starts, he realizes in that moment that there's a snake in his shirt, and he starts to grab at it. And the rest of the class looks at him like, what the fuck? And he's just gotten done telling them to do exactly what he does. So it gives us this hilarious scene of all the people in the class grabbing at their backs and flailing around. They drop to the ground and writhe around, whatever.
Right.
Including Candy Bar Lady from earlier. Pretty funny. Got a good chuckle out of me.
Hell yeah.
But we cut back to Melvin wiping down the glass of the racquetball court with his nose pressed up against it because he can't stop staring at Slug and Wanda, who he just saw fucking in the locker room last night.
Ew.
And meanwhile, Bozo's telling Julie, hey, watch how I hit this ball. Are you watching me? Are you watching? I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it. And that's when he notices Melvin staring at him and loses his shit again, screams about how much he hates him. He whacks a ball at him, and Julie tells everybody to huddle up because she's got a plan to prank Melvin. And they do indeed get into a huddle, but it's strange to me that as they go over the plan, Julie and Wanda won't stop shaking their asses like they're in the musical Chicago.
Yeah, I saw that. Kind of strange, right?
We cut to the pool again where Melvin's picking up towels, and Julie walks over to him to apologize for being so nasty to him yesterday and says she was hoping he could help her with a little problem, but I can't talk about it here in front of all these people. Why don't you meet me in the girls' locker room at 7 tonight?
Yeah. Ooh.
He's like, oh, that's actually perfect. I have to clean the toilets in there around that time, so she rolls her eyes at that. She's like, yeah, that's great, Melvin. Sounds like a plan. We get a gratuitous up and down close-up of Julie in all her bathing-suited glory.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
And her eyes fucking roll all the way into the back of her head as she walks away from Melvin. He starts having a fucking even bigger nerd panic attack than Ferdy in Chopping Mall. Which, actually, I'm just realizing Melvin Ferd, Ferdy Maisel, that's kind of weird.
That is kind of weird.
We cut back to the main free weight floor where Wanda's counting reps as Bozo and Slug are doing sit-ups while facing each other. And every time they sit up, they pass a cigarette back and forth.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's so fucking dumb. I know back in the day people smoked everywhere, but was smoking ever allowed in any health club? It's hard to imagine that.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of strange. Imagine being on like a treadmill.
Right.
It's just smoky as fuck.
Yeah. Must not be bothering them too much, though. They're up to like 500 sit-ups somehow.
Yeah, how in the fuck?
I don't know if I can do 50. Julie walks in to tell the group Melvin fell for her little ruse, and she does a little shimmy as she does it. We cut outside and see a flatbed truck barreling down the road. It's got a big sign on it that says High Tox Chemical Waste Disposal on it. But it doesn't look to me like the barrels on the bed are secured in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, no, and there's no fucking tops on them. They're just open.
Oh my God. The dude in the passenger seat's like, man, we've been driving for 2 whole hours. Let's pull over and take a break. I'm sorry. What the fuck do you mean, dog? First of all, 2 hours is nothing. And take a break from what? You're sitting there making a fucking noose for some reason. Did I mention that? Clearly you've had nothing but free time. Like, who's that for, by the way? But
I didn't even fucking notice that.
He was making a fucking noose. Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Also, if you didn't notice, it is 84, so they have porn hanging up in the back window.
Right.
They drive past the park we saw earlier, toxic waste just bubbling out of the top of these open-ass barrels. And now I'm not so mad at Return of the Living Dead for their barrel storage faux pas.
Right.
But the driver has more sense, though. He's like, no, we can't pull over with these barrels, man. It's dangerous. They're cancerogenic or something. And the passenger asks the driver if he recalls the dope they were snorting last week, and he holds up a huge, like a gallon bag of cocaine.
Hell yeah. 84, baby.
Jesus Christ. Joey changes his tune real quick. Dude sounds like the doorman in the Land of Oz. Well, bust my buttons. Why didn't you say so? That's a horse of a different color. And of course, he pulls over right in front of the health club, where he slams on the brakes and the fucking barrels slide all over the bed.
Right.
There's also a pile of beer cans on their dashboard, along with an empty bottle of Jack.
Hell yeah.
Hell no, dude. Are you kidding me?
It's Tromaville, man.
Do your fucking job. But inside the health club, Melvin comes into the locker room to meet Julie. She tells him she's got a problem with Bozo, and that's the very last name Melvin wants to hear. So he starts crying and turns away. But she's like, oh, I'm sick of Bozo pushing people around. I don't want to go out with him anymore. But she does find Melvin attractive and wants to do it with him.
Get out of here.
He's like, do what? She's like, do it, Melvin. It. Do it. He goes to kiss her and she face palms him and she's like, no, not here. Let's go down by the pool so we can take a cool dip afterwards. Oh, and one other thing. You're not wearing any pink. That's my favorite color. I have my pink on, so.
Right.
She pulls out a pink tutu for him to wear and tells him, if you put your pink on, I'll take my pink off.
Nice.
And she pulls her fucking titties out right here. It kind of surprised me. Like, not for a trauma movie, of course, but because earlier she screamed when he simply spoke to her.
Right.
Now she's going to show him her tits?
Completely different.
I don't buy it, dude. You didn't need to go that far. All you got to do is look at poor Melvin and he's fucking putty in your hands.
Right.
So before she leaves, she tells him to bring his mop as well. He loses his shit, dude. He throws his shirt up over his head like a backwards cornholio. And he changes into this god-awful pink bodysuit with green polka dots all over it, strutting through the locker room.
Yeah.
And this fucking pink tutu slinging a mop over his shoulder.
Hey, he's happy, man.
For 30 seconds, he's happy. And he comes out dancing around, jumping on the furniture. He's so excited. The music playing right now is pretty sick, too. A nice little funk number.
Oh, yeah.
We cut back to the guys in the truck, and they're just sticking their faces into this huge bag of Coke. Jesus Christ. By the pool, it's totally dark in there now for some reason, and Melvin comes in calling out to Julie. She's like, I'm over here, Melvin. My lips are waiting for you.
Oh.
And he finds her and starts kissing on her, and some dude yells, all right, turn on the lights. And when they do, he's surrounded by like 30 people from the gym. Which, how didn't he walk past them without bumping into him, first of all?
The whole health club was in on this. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's ridiculous to me. But it turns out he's holding on to a sheep and kissing it, which is hilarious when he's like, oh, you're so soft, Julie.
Yeah, you, dude. Farm animal.
But everybody's there, including Bozo and Wanda and Slug. There's one dude in particular who looks like a mustached fucking powder. I don't know if he's albino or what, but it's got to suck getting made fun of by that dude.
Turns out that sheep that they used in that scene, Mark Torgel came out later saying that everybody was unaware that the sheep had lice.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Right. So he kissed on that sheep, and I don't know what came from it.
Oh, God.
But if it's noted there, I don't know if everybody's aware how lice works.
He must have for sure had lice then, because you wouldn't say that unless you experienced it. Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, you know what? I bet that fucking sheep had lice. I didn't like the way it was looking at me.
Yeah, it says that everybody was unaware.
Right.
But fuck, dude.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Ew.
But everybody laughs their asses off at him, obviously, and Melvin gets up and runs off, back upstairs with the crowd chasing behind him. He ends up deciding that just unaliving himself is the only option and just straight up jumps out the fucking window into an open barrel on the truck waiting below.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he was just trying to get away here or what, but yeah. Wrong window.
Well, I mean, even if he had just jumped out the fucking, he's still gonna fuck himself up.
Right.
But the dudes inside the truck are now completely covered in coke, by the way. They look like clowns all of a sudden. Their faces are painted in cocaine.
Right.
And poor Melvin's just flailing around in this toxic waste barrel. His entire top half is submerged, and his legs are just kicking all over as the acid just burns into him.
He's just covered in Nickelodeon slime.
He had fucking double dare, yeah. It's kind of funny when he falls in. You can see the guys in the truck open their doors, but in the next shot, they're just spaced out in the cab still.
Right.
The two gay guys from the opening are the first to the window to look at the poor guy. And he falls out of the barrel and starts breakdancing on the sidewalk doing the fucking Homer Simpson.
Yeah, dude, the whole town just kind of shows up here to watch,
Yeah,
and
man.
nobody helps, you know?
No, somebody needs to fucking get a gun immediately and put him out of his misery.
You think?
Oh, trust me, Cage, it's the only way. But a huge crowd rushes over to see what's going on, and for a minute everybody's chanting Melvin, which is really weird. Did you catch that?
No.
Dude, it's very brief. I
Yeah,
don't
that's weird.
understand it at all. But Bozo looks down as Melvin's skin starts to bubble and boil. Every part of him is burning. And Bozo's like, no, he's just faking it. Oh, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
Yeah, damn, dude.
A couple of cops rush over to try to help him, but when the cop tries to touch him, his fucking hands just catch on fire.
Yeah, dude, fucking love it.
So Melvin stands up and raises his hands so as not to touch anyone. Even after all this bullying, landing him in a barrel of toxic waste, he's still the most considerate person around.
Oh, yeah.
So he runs through the crowd and out into the street, completely engulfed in flames as Night on Bald Mountain begins to play on the score.
It's fucking crazy, man. It's another thing, just, thinking back to 84 and thinking about the lack of CGI and whatever that's available here. This actor, this stuntman was literally on fire.
Right.
And you can fucking tell, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a great fucking fire stunt.
Right.
But Toxie runs home and his mom knocks on the bathroom door to check on him. Apparently he's come home to try to clean the shit off of him, but what she doesn't notice is all the waste seeping out through the bottom of the bathroom door, all the footprints all over the floor.
Right, dude.
There's noxious gas spewing out into the hall. Like, lady, it's time to break that fucking door down.
Oh, Mrs. Ferd. Just checking up on him.
But every step leaves a boiling ooze on the floor, so he jumps in the bath as his skin starts to bubble up all over the place.
Yeah, I love that the water here changes. So
Yeah.
it's clear bath water,
Yeah.
and he sits in it, and then it turns green, and then it's smoking. And
His hair starts falling out. These effects are crazy, man. All the credit in the world to Jennifer Aspinall for this. He's touching these fucking blisters popping up, and they're breaking and oozing shit all over the place. It's fucking disgusting.
Hell yeah.
But he goes over to get a look at himself in the mirror, and his head and face start to bubble as well. So he falls to the floor and makes this god-awful groan sound. And Mom suddenly realizes, oh, my little Melvin must have finally reached puberty.
Dusty, I like to call this a crazy slow-mo color change transformation scene.
If you want to say all that, feel free, my friend.
The color shift here on this, we go from just the normal, I guess the normal color scheme to almost like a heat signature when he changes.
Yeah.
And then I love all the I call them monster noises that are coming from Toxie after he changes. Right.
But he finally stands back up, looking more like the Toxie we all know and love. Night on Bald Mountain's playing again. That kind of becomes his theme music. And we cut to him running through town, fully transformed into the Toxic Avenger.
Goes for a nice little stroll.
Yeah. We cut away from him for a minute to a graffiti sign written on the side of a building that says, no pissing, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m.
That's not bad.
I mean, feel free to piss all night, man.
Enforced, I hope.
Yeah, by Officer O'Clancy, obviously. That's why he came down the alley to check on these guys. But we're introduced to a new group here. This is Cigarface, Knuckles, and Nipples. Which Cigarface is a local gangster and drug dealer hanging out in the alley with his two minions, and they're just counting money, having a great time. Cigarface says, when we lay this wad on O'Clancy, the boss is going to have him by the balls. So they're planning on meeting a cop here to bribe him to look the other way on all their shady dealings.
Right.
And Nipples doesn't think he's going to take the money because he's an honest cop, and Knuckles says, well, if you don't take the dough, I'm going to give him a blow. Fucking reminds me of Fezzik in The Princess Bride, fucking Andre the Giant's character, except even dumber somehow.
Nice.
But that's when O'Clancy comes strolling along with his nightstick, and Cigar stuffs the money into O'Clancy's pocket, and the cop's like, no way, dude, you're wasting your time. And that's when Knuckles breaks the bat he's holding over his own head to intimidate O'Clancy, and Cigarface grabs him up. He tries to draw his gun, but it doesn't do any good. The other two grab his arms, and this sweaty-ass bald dude comes up and says, you're going to find out why they call me Cigarface. And he fucking takes his cigar and puts it out right in the middle of this dude's forehead.
Yeah, ouch, dude.
Damn.
It's going to leave a mark.
They beat the shit out of O'Clancy for a while, kicking him in the stomach a bunch, and Nipples is making karate sounds the whole time. Until they stuff him down into some garbage, and they call him another gay slur and shove a gun in his nostril. And Nipples mentions that the boss said if he doesn't want to cooperate, we should make love to him.
Yeah, ew, dude.
Oh, rape. You mean rape.
Old Nippies. You're gonna get raped by a man named Nipples.
No, not the way Nipples does it. He's a very generous lover.
He's a top.
Cigarface moves his gun down to shoot O'Clancy in the dick, but that's when Toxie walks up, along with his theme music, and grabs Cigarface by the head and tosses him across the alley. He grabs the other two by the hair and rips a whole bunch of their scalps out. Well, in one case, it was a wig.
I was going to say, I couldn't tell if Knuckles had a toupee on or if that was supposed to be a scalp, but obviously Nipples was wearing a wig.
Right.
You know?
Right. O'Clancy covers his eyes, but he peeks out of him with that classic, like, I'm covering my face, but I move my fingers apart to see through it.
Right.
Then Cigarface comes up to punch Toxie, but it doesn't affect him in the fucking slightest.
Right. Hurts his hand.
Yeah, so Toxie starts using his face as a speed bag.
Dude, yeah, he steps on his foot and starts to rapid punch his face. I don't know how else to explain it, you know?
Well, Nipples doesn't seem too concerned. He just stands up and starts fixing his makeup.
Yeah, what the hell?
But Knuckles runs up and tries to sucker punch Toxie, but it only hurts his hand. That's when Toxie throws an elbow at him and just erases his fucking nose from existence.
Oh, dude, yeah. And
Like
you see O'Clancy kind of like reaching for his face, like,
oh God.
Yeah, holy shit.
Dude, one elbow, and this dude's just got a huge hole in his face where his nose used to be. It's fantastic. But O'Clancy grabs his own nose like, oof, that's gotta hurt. And Nipples runs up and starts grabbing his skirt and waving it at Toxie. More karate sounds. He starts kicking at him until Toxie just straight up fucking Three Stooges this dude. And he shoves his fingers into his eyes, plucking them both out at once.
Yeah, oh, gross, dude. Eyeball trauma.
Holy hell. Yeah, more CT. Toxie grabs him by the dick and throws him over the top of Knuckles. And then he grabs Cigarface by the dick and tosses him upside down into a trash can and starts doing the speed bag thing again, this time on his nuts.
Yeah, dude, there's a whole bunch of nut shots in this movie for some reason.
So many. But Toxie's also doing this weird, like, troll laugh thing. I wasn't crazy about that. Knowing what his voice sounds like when he talks,
right.
I don't like the fact that he's also like,
right.
But this dude really starts hammering on this guy's testicles.
Yeah.
And he stuffs him all the way into the trash can and throws him down the alley. And then he smashes Knuckles and Nipples' heads together to kill him and stuffs mops into their faces as a sort of a calling card.
Yeah, dude. Sick ass scene, though. They show like the side of Knuckles' head.
Yeah.
And it's like open. And then they show him laying on the ground and his head's just split the fuck open.
Dude, it's crazy. We cut back over to Cigarface and he gets out of the trash can. Dude, no way. He's not getting up from that. At least not so fast.
Well, he yells at Toxie in a high-pitched voice from being punched in the nuts so many times.
He's like, I'll get you for this, you monster.
Yeah.
And he fucking runs off down the alley. He says monster F word, but I wanted to skip that.
Yeah, that's reoccurring. He calls him the F word.
Yeah, multiple times throughout this movie. Yeah.
Right.
Now, I don't get this next thing. Toxie throws his arms in the air in victory, right? And he keeps roaring, sounding like fucking Trantor the Troll. and fuck like Goro over here, and he fucking walks up to O'Clancy, who's about to pass the fuck out, and in a very deep, clear, eloquent voice, the voice of an announcer or an MC or something, he's like, don't worry, I won't hurt you. Like, where the fuck did this fucking voice come from? First of all, Melvin sounded nothing like this.
Right.
And he was just a dweeby, stammering, high-pitched, nasally, That tells us he's also not particularly articulate, which is also kind of hard to say. He was just roaring like a troll. How in the fuck did he all of a sudden get this beautiful, deep, delicious, buttery voice? And where did the heightened sense of awareness and intelligence come from? That's not what toxic waste does to you, right?
I don't know, dude. You never know.
Please, sir, don't panic. I'm here to help. But O'Clancy can't stop stammering. Toxie stands him back up and puts his hat on and, apologizes to him the whole time. I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. I just couldn't help myself. I've never done anything like this before. And O'Clancy stands up and backs up slowly, tips his cap to Toxie, and a fucking tomato falls out of it. And he backs out of the alley, and Toxie just ever so cordially says, bye.
You're right.
And we cut to the police station where people are cleaning O'Clancy up, and a bunch of press is hanging out trying to get information. The cop up front is trying to get the press to quiet down, but he can't until he pulls an Elon and fucking throws up a Nazi salute saying, Achtung!
Yeah, the chief of police. Fucking Jesus Christ, man. The whole fucking movie.
It's ridiculous.
His dialogue and everything.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like he throws in
there
and
everything. Oh, yeah. It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's...
the black reporter right next to him has such a funny look on his face. Like, is this guy fucking serious?
Right.
But yeah, Nazi cop tells everyone to raise their hands and ask one question at a time. O'Clancy tells the press the incident happened in Shinbone Alley and tells them the gangsters tried to kill him. Monster came up and saved me, God bless him, etc., etc. We cut to the newspaper headlines reading, Monster mops up mobsters. And a crowd clamors around a newsstand with another headline reading, Monster hero KOs automaniacs.
Hell yeah.
So this dude's fucking cleaning up the town, and the townsfolk themselves are fucking here for it.
Oh, yeah.
Where's our Toxie? We need one now more than ever.
He is the hero we all need.
We cut to a quick shot of a campaign sign saying, re-elect Mayor Peter Belgoody for a healthy Tromaville, which, by the way, was the fat guy we saw sitting on a massage table eating a sub earlier.
Yeah, had a bad feeling about that.
We cut to his office where the Nazi cop tells the chief...
No, so we cut to Belgoody, and he's asking what everybody's got, kind of talking to his team here.
Right, the Nazi cop, and there's a couple of his, upper-level cronies.
Right, and the chief says the alleyway was a gruesome scene.
The most gruesome sight I have ever seen.
Right.
Which you would assume, with him in particular, Auschwitz would have probably been up there. But speaking of gruesome, there's another guy standing over here with the most horrendous comb-over I have ever seen.
Yeah, he's got this mother-in-law joke, which just, I can't not focus on his fucking hair anyway. So it
yeah,
just doesn't...
didn't hear a word of it.
Right.
Don't care.
Right.
All I'm doing is reacting to what the fuck is that on your head.
Right. Yeah, it's like a wave looking.
Right. But the sweaty-ass mayor turns to the chief, and he's like, what you got on Cigar Face? He's like, dude, that guy just sits around all day bobbling around about some 7-foot monster. Like, yeah, your cop was just telling you about the same shit. You don't believe either of them?
Right.
When the bad guys and the good guys are telling you the same thing, you can probably trust it.
Yeah, no shit. And come to find out, the only clues that we have are those damn mops off the bodies that were stuffed in people's mouths,
Well, the fucking mayor of Sweats, Virginia here thinks it must be a political statement of some kind. He's like, oh, we're going to clean up this town.
Yeah, this is crazy. So, they're talking about suspects, and the whole town are suspects. Yeah. They kind of say, nobody liked these guys.
Yeah, Knuckles and Nipples were hated by everyone except the mayor because he's crooked as fuck and says they were his best 2 producers.
Right. So, looks like Toxie fucked up their cash flow, essentially.
Right.
And we got some crooked cops,
Right. So the crookedest of the cops hands the mayor the haul from last night. And another guy says, oh, it would have been double that if not for those damn kids and their crazy dog. Or, this terrible tragedy in the alley. But we cut back to the health club where the window looks to be fixed. That was quick work.
Right.
And Wanda walks into the sauna wrapped in a towel and takes a look around to make sure no one's watching her. She goes in and pours some water over these rocks, steams it up, and that's when she busts out something that looks like a cell phone at first. Until you realize, oh shit, no, it's 1984. Those are Polaroids.
Yeah, it's a huge stack of Polaroids.
Of the fucking car murders. And we get some
Ew.
POV shots of what looks like Toxie at first wandering through the club, and then Wanda starts flexing for herself in the sauna. She's also wearing high heels for some reason.
Nice. Yeah.
That's not proper footwear for saunas. Actually, I think no footwear is proper footwear, as a matter of fact.
Probably matches her bikini, dude.
But the figure creeping through the gym, draped in a sheet, finally gets to the sauna and reaches out to grab Wanda, scares the shit out of her. But it turns out, it's just Slug.
Yeah, this reminded me of kind of like the burlap sack from Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
This guy's got the one eye hole. But the whole time, we think it's Toxie and it's Slug making fun of Melvin, even though Melvin isn't around.
Yeah. Right.
So even though ugly, annoying Melvin isn't here, he's still the topic of some. It's just fucking weird.
Yeah, he's just carrying, inside joke at that point, kind of a thing. But I always did wonder about that one eye hole situation with Jason. Why was that?
Because he had the Toxie thing going on where an eye was lower, right?
I would think you would still want to cut the other eye hole, right?
But maybe the eye doesn't work so well. You know what I mean?
So fuck it. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of,
enough.
if you think about it, it's comparable. They're like, Toxie and Jason both
Right.
have the distorted face head thing.
The Slug yells out, "I am not an animal. I am Melvin the Mop Boy." And we cut back to Toxie, still wearing his polka dot jumpsuit and tutu from earlier, by the way. He returns home and knocks on his own front door, and he calls out, and his mom calls out, "Who is it?" And he's like, "It's me, Ma, Melvin." She opens the door and loses it at the sight of this deformed ape standing in front of her, and she screams and closes the door. And his reaction's great, too. He's like, "Ma. Oh, Ma."
Yeah, poor Mrs. Ferd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this, man. We get some more sensitive side of Toxie after this. He's
Dude.
like sitting on a dock.
This is one of my favorite fucking shots.
Walking down the tracks.
I love him sitting on the docks, hanging his head, staring out across the water to New York City, fucking, "Oh man, I have no home. My mom can't stand the sight of me. Oh, woe is me. What am I to do?" And he finally ends up at the toxic waste dump, and there's signs everywhere telling people to stay the fuck out. There's more open cans of waste just bubbling everywhere. And he walks in with, has he got a trail of toilet paper stuck to his shoe at first?
Yeah.
And he finally finds him a decent spot, and we get a cute little homemaking montage. He clears the area out and builds some walls, and by build, I mean he leans pieces of things against other things.
Right.
And he puts up a table and a fridge. Place ain't too bad for a toxic waste dump.
Sets the table, hangs a picture of mom.
Yeah, that's the best touch.
Takes a little nap.
It literally says mommy on it.
Yeah.
And he's plumb tuckered after all that bad guy killing, so he takes a nap. And I mean, the emotional fatigue of your mom screaming at the side of your face has got to be a lot too, right?
Right.
We cut back to the mayor. He's hanging out somewhere with scantily clad girls dancing all around him. And he gets a great line to open this scene. He's trying to get his friend's attention, and he's like, the dude on the couch next to him, he's like, Tom, is this guy dead? What the fuck is going on? Tom, hey.
Staring at the dancing chicks.
And he's just, it looks like he's just staring into space, completely fucking gone on something for a minute.
Well, that too. I would imagine the drugs.
But the look on his face is amazing, just wide-eyed and slack-jawed, doing a 1,000-yard stare. But when he comes to, the mayor tells the guy that the zoning board has designated the old Rollins chemical plant as the new toxic waste dump site, which is contaminated, but it's valuable waterfront property. Dude, probably not anymore.
Dude, okay. So this doesn't even make sense. So this guy's name is Tom Wrightson, and evidently he's some kind of, he's got what, the papers that needed to be signed for zoning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So none of this even fucking adds up at all. So the toxic dump was placed on the lakefront property next to the water. That doesn't happen. That would contaminate the fucking water.
It's not great.
So we should move the dump from next to the lakefront property next to the water supply. It's the same. It's going to contaminate both.
Right.
It doesn't matter where it fucking is, but I mean, whatever. We're watching a trauma movie, but it's so funny.
Yeah, Tom mentions, that would put the dump site 20 feet away from the reservoir for the entire area. Like, fucking let's pull a Return of the Living Dead and just turn everybody into a bunch of toxies.
Right. Gonna poison the town.
But I do love the shot panning through the dump where it's like, there's a sign there that says the U.S. Department of Interior has declared this area a national preserve for wildlife, no dumping. But it's just covered, surrounded and shit.
Right.
But the mayor's like, oh yeah, I know that. Who gives a fuck? And starts laughing. And they all shake hands on their new deal. Corrupt fucks.
It's like fucking Dr. Evil laugh along with like the whole
Right.
the whole room.
He goes, here's to better living through chemistry.
Right.
But now we cut to a Mexican restaurant, literally just called The Mexican Place, where there's some more sweet funk music playing and people are dancing around in the parking lot. This place is fucking jumping.
Oh, yeah.
But strangely, we cut inside to see a sombrero hanging on the wall. Okay, not weird yet. But what's this underneath? A pair of crossed katanas?
Yeah.
The fuck?
There's a lot of things hanging on the wall because of fucking samurai sword and shit or something, katana, whatever, come down later, So
Yeah.
I definitely said something about that, like, why is this? Why are these Chinese weapons?
Mexican ninja.
Right.
We immediately go check out what's going on in the kitchen, and this dude pulls a bottle of booze out from the front of his pants and takes a big old swig. There's another poor kid that's basically another Melvin struggling with a smoothie machine.
Yeah, fucking like some kind of milkshake.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck those are.
We check around with the people in the restaurant real quick. There's a blind girl with a seeing eye dog, a newish mom, and her baby.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't skip over the deep frying of the taco shells. I feel like this is very foreshadowing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A
little bit.
Zoom in on that. I was like, oh, man, that's awesome. And I was like, oh, they're going to fucking use that.
Rico.
Yeah, right.
Suave. But the dude that dug the booze out of his crotch is building people's tacos barehanded. That's nice.
If you washed your hands first, I'm okay with it.
I just don't like the idea that anyone who has touched their business within the last
That's true, yeah.
within the shift for sure.
We don't know for sure, Dusty. I mean, we know.
I know that he just pulled a bottle out of his junk.
He was
and
drinking.
now he's
the
touching
dick
people's
booze.
fucking food.
The dick booze.
The dick booze. But all seems to be going pretty great in this restaurant until these three thugs run in, and the guy in front, Leroy, waves a shotgun around, and he's like, "Everybody drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out." And everybody freaks out, of course. The leader, Frank, tells the third guy, Rico, to get on the cash register. And then he starts talking to the crowd, and he's got this cool, like, MC vibe. He's like, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are the entertainment for this afternoon." And he introduces everybody in the gang like members of a band during a breakdown.
Right.
And he's like, "On shotgun, we got my man Leroy. And on the cash register, we got the magic fingers, Rico. And last but not least, yours truly, Frank, on the stick." And he pulls out this fucking knife and starts twirling it around.
See, that confused me too. I would be calling the shotgun the stick.
I mean,
Personally, I don't know.
I suppose a knife is not a stick, I suppose.
That's true.
But Rico shoots the cash register to open it up, and Frank's like, "All right, if everybody just does exactly what we say, you just might get your asses home all intact." And while he's saying this, remember earlier I was talking about the fact that this dude was not actually an actor, but just a dude missing an arm that they could use for what's to come in a minute?
Right.
And the shot is amazing because as he stands there, his right arm is just drooping down. It looks
Like you
totally
can tell,
unnatural.
right.
Yeah. Hanging halfway down his thigh. But
I don't think I noticed. I didn't, I wasn't for sure that his
Yeah.
arm was coming off quite yet, so I wasn't really checking yet.
I entered the movie with that information, so
Right.
whatever. I mean, you might not notice, I suppose.
Right.
But Rico at this point decides to walk up to that mom and stick his shotgun in this baby's face.
Leroy.
Oh, that is Leroy. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Leroy on the shotty.
Yeah, Leroy on the shotgun, yeah.
Yeah, that this whole part really threw me off because they were kind of zooming in on some of the families before everybody entered here, and I just had a fucking feeling like the same thing with Skippy that kids are worth 12. I mean,
Yeah.
kids under 12 are worth double points, and all of a sudden, perfect setup. It's the same thing. I felt it coming.
Yeah.
Wow, they're zooming in on these kids, and then Leroy with the shotgun
Just
aimed right at the kid, and
point blank in this kid's fucking face,
that's
man.
something that's kind of like Terrifier 3. When we had the reaction video to that, was the big thing with that was you didn't expect them to do anything with kids.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're
with
seeing
Terrifier, how else can you elevate
Right.
your fucking
right, but just in general, the fact that you see, prop or not, there's a shotgun pointed at this child in this movie
Right.
just sets people off. They know what they're fucking doing, man. They're good on this. It's fucking great.
But yeah, he's like, "You like Mexican food, little baby? How would you like to have this hot tamale shoved down your throat?" All right, dude, that's about enough of that. You can cut that shit anytime.
Yeah. Hey, whoa.
But he runs over and terrorizes some teeny boppers, as he calls them, and asks them if they like video games. "Oh, does your mom give you quarters for the video games? Well, cough them up!"
Yeah, I think she likes you, Leroy. Like, fucking ew.
Yeah,
dude.
man, he fucking kisses, he kisses the one teeny bopper, and Rico kisses the cashier, too.
Right.
And one guy finally gets brave and stands up to stop them. He's like, leave her alone. He offers him money. He even suggests letting everyone go and keeping himself as a hostage.
Right.
Damn, hero, all right. But Leroy is like, all right, that's an idea, but I got a better one, and blasts this dude into oblivion, hits him dead center in the chest. This dude goes flying through this lattice-style fence behind him, almost as if it was made for someone to go flying through.
Right.
But he's got a great little death rattle, lots of good blood on this guy. His wife loses her mind, and fucking Leroy tells everybody, shut the fuck up. It was self-defense.
Uh-huh.
I think he's really good in this scene. That's Patrick Kilpatrick, who went on to be in a whole bunch of shit. But that's when Frank spots Sarah, the blind girl, at the table with her dog, and he's like, check out this pretty little bitch. And he's like, he thinks she's blind and spins a knife in her face to prove it. Frank starts grabbing at her, and the dog starts barking, so he tells Leroy to walk it, which of course is code for shoot.
Right.
Oh, poor little good boy.
Yeah, dude, that's another thing, too. Talking about hitting a couple big nerves on some people in the same scene. You pointed a shotgun at a kid, and then you killed a fucking dog on camera. And it fucking shows it, too. I mean, obviously, it's fake, but...
Yeah, it goes flying across the room, dude. Sarah stands up and starts yelling the dog's name. She calls it Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank's like, listen, I'll make everything all right. Just let me introduce you to my friend Ben. She goes, Ben who? And he says, bend over.
Yeah, fuck,
and
man.
And he fucking bends her over the table and lifts up her skirt. She's got these, like, frilly little underwear on that can't be comfortable to sit on, by the way. But this is pretty fucked up. This dude's about to rape a blind girl in front of the entire restaurant.
Always wanted a cornhole blind bitch. Like, Jesus fuck. Is this the worst scene in the movie?
I fucking can't.
I don't know. I can't say it's the worst scene. It's good, but it's hitting all the nerves, and that's what they're trying to do.
I suppose, yeah. He starts to pull out his junk, but thank God, just in time, Toxie comes in and throws him across the room before he can do any damage. His right arm still hasn't moved an inch, of course. It was just odd if all was as it seems, you know?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, when I do see this again, that's something I'm going to have to look for is Frank's arm standing out much more.
Just hanging there. It's never standing out.
And
that's the point.
That's one of the things, though, too, is if you don't know it's coming, they can get away with things like that, and they know it, too, you know? It's very clever.
Right. Well, Frank gets back up and comes after Toxie, punching him a few times with his left arm specifically, until Toxie tosses him over his shoulder and rips his right arm off. All right, so cool. It doesn't have to be weird anymore. But it takes Frank a second to even realize his arm's missing. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker. And then he sees the blood squirting all over the place and screams. He's got serious Richard Pryor vibes.
Dude, yeah, actually, now that you say that.
But one of the cooks can't hang. He just passes out. And Toxie knocks Frank to the ground with his own arm, swinging it like a club. And now Frank can't get back up, apparently. He can't push himself up with just the one arm. He's like a turtle now.
He's stuck on his back.
But Leroy comes up and dodges a bunch of arm swings and kicks the fucking arm out of Toxie's hand. And even gets a few good licks in before Toxie just starts wailing on him, too. And he tosses him into the kitchen, and then Rico runs out, flipping all over the place, using martial arts to get the upper hand, until Toxie just kicks him, or he fucking kicks Toxie right in the man bag. And Toxie finally gets a good lick in by punching a hanging plant into Rico's face and knocks him down.
Yeah, these fight scenes really aren't so bad.
Yeah, not really.
Like, when they first start, I'm kind of like, oh, come on. But they're choreographed well. I feel like all of this stuff, even for being an indie film, all of these scenes, these shots are actually good for what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a good shot. It's just a B-horror.
It's well composed. It's cheesy as fuck. It's over the top, but, you know, it's some love has clearly gone into it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But Rico gets back and pulls out some nunchucks. Where the hell you been hiding those? Starts whipping them all over the place, and they're making ridiculous, like, video game sound effects as he does. Toxie disarms him, though, gives him a good kick to the chops. He's right back in it. He grabs one of the katanas off the wall, Rico does, and Toxie ends up disarming him again with the same move, and then we get a couple real good slow motion throws. First, over another section of that fence, and then again over the counter into the kitchen. And Rico falls to the floor, getting dumped on by a shitload of tortilla chips.
Yeah, it's where the fun starts, man.
Yeah, man. Toxie comes up and starts shaking this dude like crazy, and then Leroy runs up and tries to bash him with a canister of like some sort of soft drink, I think. But no dice. Toxie sticks a couple of fingers in his armpit for a quick little tickle fight before killing him in one of the more fucked up ways in the movie, I think.
Oh, dude, I love it.
He puts a hand around his throat and pushes him down to the counter where there's a bunch of ice cream and milkshake making things.
Right.
And he grabs the jug of milk and starts pouring it into this dude's mouth. He's just like milk boarding him.
Right.
Pours a bunch into his mouth, and then a couple of scoops of ice cream, some chocolate syrup, a shitload of whipped cream, finally a cherry on top.
Right.
Until this guy, he's like suffocating and drowning. I'm not sure which comes first, but I feel like Leroy could have easily gotten out of this thing, dude. Come on, you just got to swallow. Just start swallowing.
Start eating. Yeah, dude, he slides him up underneath that milkshake machine stir. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's got the
it's just
wand.
A blender of some kind, yeah.
Yeah, down into his mouth and then turns it on, and we get this like, it's really good that it doesn't go really fucking crazy. You know what I mean? You get some blood squirts, and you don't just get a gore fest. You know what I mean? But that's good because it kind of leaves some for your mind. But yeah, like you said, that's got to be one of the more fucked up kills we've seen. And a lot of these, that's not something you would expect anywhere.
Right.
It's not been redone anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking
Ball Booze guy is certainly horrified with his little belly hanging out, which
Ball Booze guy.
Fucking covered in lettuce. It's gross. But Toxie grabs Rico and puts his hand in a fryer basket and shoves it down into some boiling oil. Shit, that's gotta suck.
Right.
He tells him they were only kidding. What's the matter? You can't take a joke? Seems to me I heard that somewhere else. But nothing doing. Rico, fucking Toxie bends a bunch of bars over him to keep him in place, and then checks the temp on the oven so he can throw old Frank inside it.
Right.
And Ball Booze Belly Boy takes another drink only to realize it's empty. That's when Toxie comes back out to find poor Sarah on the floor in the restaurant, crying. She's stranded now, really, with no one to guide her home.
Right.
She hears Toxie walk up and begs him not to touch her, and once again that smooth-ass baritone of his voice comes through. Hey, it's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Are you okay? She's like, yeah, but they killed my fucking dog. What am I supposed to do now?
Dude, they flashed the dog here for a minute.
Oh, my God.
And it's brutal-ass makeup. And he's a very good boy, because you can see him breathing.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
He's panting so hard.
So
oh my God.
and that's what's cool, though, is they got this dog is a good enough, like, stunt animal that they put makeup on him, and he's laying there, and he's laying there like he's supposed to, but you can't teach the dog to not breathe.
Right.
You know, you can't be, all right, hold your breath for 30 seconds while we shoot this. But that's what I said. He's a good boy. This is a good acting
it's
dog.
It's a good dog actor, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, his side is just fucking decimated, like hanging open, a bunch of organs leaking out. There's blood all over. It's fucking awful. I saw a possum like that once, fucking locked eyes with it as I passed it on Alexis Road. I'll never forget that shit. It was terrible.
Like it was alive still?
Yes, like doing circles in the middle of the street. It was
with
fucking
its guts
awful.
hanging out?
Yeah. Like he just got hit by a car, yeah. Fuck.
Rough.
Sarah begs Toxie to take her out of the restaurant, and he's like, all right, but let's go out the back, which is a good call because here come the police through the front door. And we get a cute little montage of Toxie ever so slowly leading Sarah across a field of with the New York City skyline in the distance, and she's taking the tiniest steps, hoping not to trip on anything. And a love ballad starts playing here. This is one of the original songs by Dean Summers and Mark Hoffman.
Nice.
And he leads her home, and there are just so many fucking blind jokes in this segment, I almost can't stand it.
Yeah. Don't trip over the step, Melvin.
Yeah,
and then she eats it right away.
Immediately walking in the front door.
Right.
There's a fucking, there's a wall full of blind people walking sticks. I'm sorry, I don't know what they're called. But
yeah, there's like 50 of them.
Yeah, it's just like the white stick with the red tip for some reason. I don't know why they do that. Blind people don't care what color it is.
I think it's so we can see it.
Oh, okay. But she tells Melvin not to trip over the step, but then she immediately does instead.
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of the dog on the wall, but it's hanging sideways. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Just so many blind jokes all at once. She laughs and stands up saying, oh, I better get my cane, and knocks down the entire wall. There's like 30 fucking cans that just spill all over the place. And another poster on the wall is hanging diagonally. All right, come on, lady. You can do better than that. Sideways makes sense. Even upside down makes sense. But diagonal? Come on now.
Dusty, she can't see. She doesn't know what's level,
You're right.
Dusty.
No, you're right. I'm the asshole. She tells Toxie to sit down. Oh, there's a spot for you right over there. And she points with her cane and hits him right in the dick.
Right, yeah. The nut jokes, even though they seem like they might get old, they do not. They're fucking
Somehow
they're
they do
still
not.
funny.
She asks him if he wants something to eat. Damn, you just left a Mexican place. You're hungry already?
Well, I wanted to point out, she offers to make peanut butter and jellies, and I'm like, how are these going to fucking turn out, man? You know? Well, the pictures are turned sideways, can't see where she's fucking going. I have a feeling it ain't going to be a PB&J, you know?
Well, she asks him.
Like, there's no way.
Well, she's just like spreading cat food
like,
on
who
it.
fucking knows, dude? It ain't. There's no way this is going to work out.
Spreading it on a Pop-Tart, not a fucking piece of bread and whatever.
Ooh, there we go.
But Toxie's still incapacitated from the dick chop, and she's like, hey, is PB&J okay? He's like, just make the fucking sandwich, lady. I need a minute. But back at the restaurant, the cops try to assess the crime scene here. A Nazi cop takes a big bite out of a taco as he asks his boys to give him a rundown. And one of the cops is like, oh, I got a nice crispy taco supreme over here. And he shows the Chief Rico's hands all burned up in the fryer.
Right.
And then another cop says he's got a strawberry thick shake over here. And he takes a huge bite of a taco while leaning over Leroy's body.
Right.
Leroy also has a mop over his face. You got to sign your work. Good job, Toxie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a quick shot of the chief acknowledging it, but he doesn't say anything. He just nods. Because there's a half a taco hanging out of his face. The other cop also has lettuce hanging out of his mouth. Dude, these guys are fucking gross. But he asks a fourth guy what he's got, and he's like, oh, a pizza with the works to go. And we see half of Frank's body hanging out of the oven, also with a mop.
Right. Everybody's just fucking eating.
The employees are trying to describe what happened to the cops, and there's a lot of goofy over-the-top lines like, huh? The cops don't believe him, of course, and Nazi cops like, oh, yeah, sure, I bet there was a pink elephant too, right? Which, that could just be a cover now that I think about it. I forgot Nazi cop is in cahoots with the mayor.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just acting like he doesn't believe them.
Yeah, so they're just trying to say that Ball Booze Boy is drunk. And that's the pink elephant joke.
Right.
Is that, yeah, I'm sure there was a pink elephant too. It's because he's fucking lit. So, yeah, no, it's all... it's him trying to sweep everything under the rug because they're all working for... What's his fucking name?
Bell Goody?
Bell Goody.
But yeah, Ball Booze Belly Boy tells him the monster was a hero, and he gets all in his face to do so, which causes the Nazi cop to react to the booze on his breath. Oh, this guy's drunk. We can't trust a word he says.
Yeah, it's all a fucking cover. Spoilers.
Back with Toxie and Sarah, she wants to touch his face, but he freaks out and he's like, no, I have a rash on my face. She's like, oh, you mean acne? Everybody gets a little acne sometimes.
Yeah.
Not like this, they don't. She's like, all right, well, can I tell your fortune then? I read palms. And he gives her hand and she feels around for a second like, oh, what big hands you have. You have all the better to fondle you with, my dear.
Yeah, she says you're going to have a lot of good things coming to you in the future. But then she says, let me see your other hand. And doesn't reach for his hand.
Dude, she grabs him right in the dick.
Well, she's blind, Dusty. Okay.
Well, you can't tell me she also doesn't feel the disgusting toxic waste skin all over him. It's got to be like massaging an alligator.
Yeah. Hey, don't judge him, okay?
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's crazy that she wouldn't notice, but I find it odd also that they're not showing his face in this scene, like framing it very carefully to crop out his head.
We kind of don't get a straight shot here until a little bit, and we get like a straight close-up of his face. Yeah. So I feel like there was some kind of mystery to that, right. and on purpose, because we've seen the transformation, and we had that sixth scene with the heat signature, but even then, you don't get a clear shot of his face. So they're holding out on us for sure. But
right, yeah. She's like, oh, I bet you're very strong. Let's see. You're going to have a lot of good things in your future. You're going to be a very important man. Let me see your other hand. Grabs him in the fucking junk, and that excites him so much he does a little titty dance like Terry Crews.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
And we get another newspaper headline about the restaurant, and then we cut to the Tromaville police station where Dr. Merton Snodberger is there from the Garden State Cerebro Reflex Research Center. Jesus Christ, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, he's from Auschwitz, too.
And he does a little George Jefferson pimp walk up to the podium as the guy introducing him asks if it's true that the monster only attacks bad people. Ooh, okay, plot twist. And in a terrible German accent, this dude's like, yeah, that's absolutely correct. I would have to answer your question. Yeah.
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 Yeah. But he says there have been traces of toxic waste found at the crime scene, so it's likely whoever it was that did this was exposed to some. And he turns around and has a nasty sneezing fit for a minute. And he says it's also probable that Toxie developed an innate sense that commands him to destroy evil. I guess, which is a matter of perspective, isn't it? Like, what you're really telling me is he's developed a sense of prejudice.
Yeah.
Back at the health club in the men's locker room, there's a dude buying a bag of joints off somebody.
I thought that was Bozo. Is that not Bozo?
Nope, it's not Bozo.
Okay.
In the ladies' locker room, Wanda and Julie are looking through Polaroids of poor old dead Skippy. She's like, oh boy, that new camera really captures the moment. Why are they openly looking at these things with all these other ladies wandering around? I would think you might want to keep that under wraps.
They do that multiple, like Julie or I think probably Wanda is just carrying around a stack.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie, you know?
Just fucking sick, man.
Incriminating.
Well, I guess Slug's locker had articles hanging up and shit, so I guess these people just don't give a fuck.
Right.
But Wanda's like, they're so red, it really gets me hot. And the drug dealer guy takes some money from another random girl and gives her a couple syringes. What do you think are in those, Jason?
I don't know.
Are we talking
questions.
steroids just because it's a gym, or could it be like heroin or something?
Dude, exactly. That's kind of what I thought, you know. Oh, yeah. We're in a health club.
This is coming from a place of zero experience with either, though. My only touchstone for heroin is Pulp Fiction. So,
well, I like to get swole. You know what I mean? But yeah, this drug dealer is Dennis, and he works for Belgoody, evidently.
Yeah, we see him back in the massage room where the mayor is enjoying his daily tub rub and sub grub.
Hell yeah.
He's got that long sandwich sitting next to him again.
Yes.
The chief is sitting in a chair over there, and the drug dealer guy and Cigar Face are also hanging out. And Dennis says he's got today's receipts from the drug division, and Belgoody's like, put it over there on the table. The bookkeeper will get to it later.
Damn.
Why is this dude so sweaty? He's laying down. I suppose maybe it's a struggle keeping yourself upright enough to eat a sub while in a prone position.
He's a very large man.
Yeah, if we hadn't mentioned, he's quite large. Dennis walks away and does a little bump, and he gets onto a machine to start doing some leg curls. Got to work out them hammies. No, not that. Sweaty Mercury, not the sandwich. But that's when Toxie comes busting into the gym and scares everybody off, including the gay guys from earlier, one of which jumps into the other's arms.
Yeah, dude, this is like a sick POV shot, too, from Toxie's view, and everybody is just kind of scattering, you know? He might as well be carrying a gun or something, you know? It's good.
Everybody pieces the fuck out except for Dennis, which Toxie flips over on his bench and slides him up into a position where his head is under the fucking weight plates he's been lifting. And I can already fucking see where this is going.
Oh, yeah.
We get a hilarious back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, cutting between Dennis's face and the weights, including the pipe jutting out of the bottom. They're all attached to.
Yeah, that's the part where I kind of... It's not going to straight smush his head because there's all those pinholes to hold the weights in. So there's like an extra foot of pull underneath that with
that's
the weight
going
on
through first for sure.
Right,
yeah.
Oh.
Woof. Toxie brings this thing down on this dude's head. Half of it just crumbles away. Like from the nose up, this dude's head just disappears. It's such a great effect. We get a close-up of it wiggling around.
I hate it when people say, like, hey, you know, these melons and stuff really don't work for this. And I'm like, disagree. Look at this shit,
May
dude.
I present Exhibit A?
Yeah, dude.
His tongue's sticking out and shit. His hands are quivering in his final death rattle.
It's fucking awesome.
It's good stuff. A mop to the face from Toxie, of course, which I guess is considerate, covering up all that nasty shit from the rest of the patrons here. Toxie's not a bad guy.
No, he's a superhero, Dusty. That's why he should have won the bracket.
We cut back to Wanda in the sauna, and she pours some, water on the rocks again. She busts out her Polaroids, and she starts fucking masturbating to pictures of this dead kid's mangled corpse.
Just when you thought the movie couldn't get any more fucked.
It just keeps on fucking surpassing itself. Every fucking 2 minutes, something crazier happens.
I love you, Trauma.
Well, apparently Jennifer Baptiste was well aware that there would be full nudity in the movie, which she was cool with. But what she wasn't comfortable with was the masturbation scene. I guess they kind of sprung it on her. But she agreed to do it once they told her that it would be a closed set. And it turns out it was not a closed set at all. Everybody was just there standing around, cast, crew, everyone. And to cap it all off, one of the crew members passed her his fucking number after they wrapped shooting for the day.
Oh, dude.
What the fuck, man?
It was all fine until that. I mean, I'm not saying she was
That's
comfortable
not
prior.
fine, no.
No, what I'm saying is, until he did that, she was still upset, but that put the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? Had she not got hit on immediately afterwards, it probably wouldn't be an imprint. She's probably going to remember that for the rest of her life. You know what I mean? Uncomfortable.
And she already had a boyfriend. She was going out with Slug behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
But we all know that some directors and studios have a tendency to push their actors in non-conventional ways, sometimes to get the desired effect. Kubrick fucking tortured poor Shelley Duvall on the set of The Shining, famously. Friedkin shot a gun next to Jason Miller's head and slapped the fuck out of Father O'Malley. You know what I mean? Like, Hitchcock was known for doing some wild shit, but this is what I've got more of a problem with. When actors, and more often actresses, are put in an uncomfortable position where they are made to feel like they don't have a choice but to go through with whatever they're asked to do. It's unethical, it's gross, it's wrong, and thank God we don't run into much of that these days. Not as much, anyway.
Right. No, everything's a lot more open now because of the internet and stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know, there are bad things about the internet, but there are also good things.
Well, unfortunately, when you're dealing with exploitation films, which this basically is, especially in the before times, before there were more strict regulations put into effect, you see this kind of thing happen all the time, and it makes you feel bad for the people subjected to it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But as it stands, she's in there diddling herself to these gross-ass pictures, clearly in dire need of therapy. Meanwhile,
she's okay.
No, she's fucking not. No, shut the fuck up. She is absolutely not okay. Meanwhile, Toxie walks in, following Slug's example from earlier for some reason. I don't know how, because he wasn't there to see that, but he's also draped himself in that Elephant Man sheet from earlier. I guess to throw Wanda off. So she does see him, but like doesn't react at first.
Mm-hmm.
He walks past the pool, and there's a big sign we focus on for a second saying persons. All right, well, okay, let's stop right there for a second. I fucking hate it when someone uses persons instead of people. I'm sorry, but it just sounds fucking ridiculous, and I can see no reason for it. Okay, moving on.
That was a cop thing on your persons.
Well, the sign says persons with inflamed eyes, nasal or ear discharges, boils, or other evident skin or body infection shall be excluded from the pool. Oh, poor Toxie. He just wants to take a little dip.
There's nothing wrong with his skin.
But he walks into the sauna, interrupting her little session, and she thinks it's Slug, of course. So it's not until she rips the sheet off to reveal it's him that she picks up... dude, she freaks out. He picks her up and sets her down on top of these hot-ass rocks.
Yeah.
Steam starts pouring out everywhere. Toxie goes, "Let this be a lesson to you, hot ass."
Touché.
He holds her down onto it for a minute. I'm not sure if this would kill her, but it certainly can't be pleasant.
I mean, yeah, I would think so. I don't know. How hot? You ever been in a fucking sauna?
Yeah, time or two.
It's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, you walk in, it feels great. After a few minutes, you're kind of like, how do people sit in here?
For extended periods of time, yeah.
I feel like you're going to die.
But we cut to Toxie in the alley, pissing a bunch of toxic waste, while we hear echoes of Snodberger and his explanations of Toxie's current state of being.
Right.
And just then a limo pulls up, and this fucking sex trafficker asks him if he wants some nice young poontang, and he pulls this preteen girl, all made up like a streetwalker, out of the car, trying to sell her to Toxie. And she's like, "Oh, you said you were going to take me to the David Bowie concert. He's not David Bowie."
Yeah, no, quite the fucking opposite. Yeah, this is fucked, man. Only 12 years old and $12.
Dude, that's insulting. $12? What do you need the money for a fucking
Christ.
King Cobra down at the Quick Stop or what? $12 you're going to sell this kid for? Fuck off.
You get a case of King Cobras for $12, Dusty.
Yeah, probably. Toxie, of course, grabs this dude and chokes him up against the wall until a whole bunch of his cronies get out of the car and attack him. He makes pretty quick work of all of them, though, tosses a couple away, ducks out of the way so one of them accidentally slashes the throat of his buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he uses the knife in that guy's own hand to stab him in the gut. Not bad.
Yeah, nice blood here.
Mm-hmm.
We got one guy that pisses his pants.
He drops some knowledge on him here, though, and he's like, and you can tell your scum friends that things are going to change in this town. I'm not just another pretty face. We get a quick close-up of him snarling. And he guides the girl back to the limo, and we get another spinny newspaper, but this one's a fake out because we don't actually get a headline this time. That's just what they chose to use for their transition.
Right. Right.
The fuck?
Well, it transitions to, is this Toxie in a cop costume?
I don't know
He's
what
got
it is.
Aviators on.
I
And
don't
he's
know how this
kind of,
keeps getting fucking weirder.
He like strips out of, it looks like a hat and aviators.
He's got like a long coat on. It's a blue baseball cap and sunglasses, and he runs toward the camera and just rips it all off of himself. Why? I have no fucking idea. If you can tell me, I'll give you $100.
Yeah, like that's why is this some kind of cop costume, or is this just an odd transition?
I think it's just another montage. What's up with all of the fucking montages in this movie? Like every 5 minutes, we get another montage or something else.
It's the 80s. It's 84. That's what it's all.
The 80s was one big montage.
Montage, please.
We cut to a couple little kids sitting in the middle of the road, which is exactly where not to be with Bozo and Slug around, who are right behind him hanging out while these kids bounce a ball in the middle of the street.
I fucking love how you just know, like, hey, look, two little kids. Hey, you guys shouldn't be playing in the road. And then
we see them first, and immediately you're thinking of Bozo and Slug.
You're like, oh god. And then Bozo, here we go. You know, like it's set up. It's so predictable, but it's fucking great. Though.
Two prime candidates, rack them up.
Hey kids, you shouldn't be playing in the. Oh fuck, Bozo.
Yeah, he puts the pedal to the floor, but Toxie shows up just in time to get him out of the way. Another weird spinning newspaper transition to Toxie just yelling into the junkyard for some reason. We got the Twin Towers in the distance again here. We do get a headline finally after that. Mad Mop Monster is really a hero. The town's starting to come around, dude.
Right, man. We love Toxie.
Another hero montage. He helps a little old lady across the street, pops in another lady's window to help her with a jar, rescues some lady's baby, apparently. He's doing the Lord's work out here.
Did you notice this jar? It was popcorn kernels.
Yeah.
And it was Orville
Redenbacher specifically.
And he cracked it open, and when he handed it back because of the fucking, they had all popped.
Yeah, because of the residual toxic waste on him, the kernels start popping.
Sick.
It was great. It was a nice detail. We see some kids with shirts that have a picture of Toxie on them that say, I heart the monster hero.
Oh, yeah.
We cut to a beauty parlor where there's those two gay guys from earlier work, and one of them's like, I hear the monster is so big. And he's like, yeah, well, I bet he's got his eyes on me. Which, like, the normal one or the fucking droopy one? Which eye are you talking about?
Right.
Everyone knows monsters prefer blondes, the other guy says.
Yeah, they're fighting over who Toxie's going to be into. Love it.
Nice Marilyn Monroe ref real quick. We see the mayor and the police chief at a poker table. Nazi cop says people are starting to realize the monster's here to help, and the jails are becoming overcrowded because he's just busting people left and right.
Yeah, he's cleaned up the whole town.
Yeah.
Except for us.
Yeah. Mayor's like, almost. He hasn't gotten us yet.
Right.
But he's like, he draws his gun. He's like, if we don't kill him, he's going to kill us.
Yeah.
So we see Toxie walking through an alley with a bunch of flowers to give Sarah, I assume. That's when Cigarface and 5 of his minions jump out and surround him. He's like, I owe you for the other night, so now we're going to give you 6 new assholes.
Yeah.
And they're all standing around him with guns drawn, and Toxie jumps up to a fire escape and lets them all shoot each other.
Yeah. That's different.
It's a great fucking move, dude.
Jumped out of the way as the group all shot simultaneously.
That was
and
great
they
fucking
all
timing,
killed
yeah.
each other. Yeah. That's crazy.
It gives them all the finger, yeah. We join a group of biker dudes on the side of the road, and Sarah walks by them, and they start to harass her, of course. Gorgeous blonde walking by, check. Disabled and can't defend herself, check. Outnumbered 5-1, check. Gotta flex for your buddies, check.
Right.
She says she's waiting for her boyfriend, and the one guy says, oh, well, maybe I'm your boyfriend.
No shit.
They start feeling her up and reaching up her skirt and shit, and she starts calling out to Melvin, and they're like, oh my god, Melvin, that's your boyfriend, that little fucking twerp? And that's when Toxie walks up and says, yeah, Melvin, what's up, guys?
Right.
And they all shit their pants and run away. We get yet another sweet little love montage of him guiding her around. there's like the day of the Mexican restaurant hold up where he's guiding her across the field there.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a nice little picnic on another day, and he pulls out some flowers from behind his back, which why he was hiding them, I don't know, because obviously there's no reaction when he pulls them out.
She's fucking blind.
She pops the cork on the champagne bottle and hits him right in the nuts yet again, of course. We cut to the bedroom where she finally feels his face, and she's like, Melvin, you're beautiful. And she grabs his titties like, oh, you're so muscular. It's been 2 years since I've touched a man. And he's like, what are you doing to me? I've never felt like this before. And he starts to smoke.
Yeah, dude.
Is that like him coming? Like it just comes out as noxious fumes? But cue the disgusting makeout and sex scene. They like bust a whole bunch of fucking like downstairs there's plaster falling on this like old couple's head from the ceiling.
Which I gotta say, this is not the worst sex scene we've ever seen. This is much better than Crack Coon.
Oh my god.
You know,
leaps and bounds. Sorry guys.
Yeah, dude, there's all kinds of different positions. Toxie hit missionary. But still it wasn't bad for what it was.
No, it was fun. It was fun enough. Afterwards, they're both smoking in bed, which we learned in Chopping Mall is absolutely vital to the successful fuck session. The next day, she's making breakfast and cracking eggs into this huge pan, and everything's going in. Eggs, shells, butter packets, still fully wrapped.
Toxie don't mind.
She makes him 1,000 eggs. I'm not even joking. There's so many fucking eggs on this table. And he's just wolfing them down, eating with both a fork and a spatula.
Hell yeah.
And he takes her to his place, and we see that he's made it a little homier for her. There's 1,000 blind people cans behind the couch. He's framed a picture of Carrie the dog wearing sunglasses.
Right. Looks like they moved in together. Aww.
She shittily hangs some curtains, and that's apparently the final touch. They look around all proud. Well, he looks around all proud. She's there too. But a couple of shots of them dancing and hula hooping, having a grand old time. There's also a weird shot of him with a traffic cone on his head, and he lifts it like to doff his cap to her.
Right.
And she laughs.
But she can't see.
Which, I don't know why she's laughing. The montage wraps up with them slow dancing, and he's got his hands all over that butt.
Yeah, dude.
And that's, they pull away for a kiss, and she's hilariously staring up way too high for his line of sight.
Right.
And back at the health club, we join back up with Julie. Haven't heard from her in a minute.
Yeah, dude, another POV shot here. They're not all over the movie, but when they are, they're done very well. They are very planned out, you know.
In the locker room, he pops up from under the bench she's sitting on and calls her a murderer and grabs her by the throat, telling her he's going to teach her a lesson she'll never forget. And as he's choking her up against the wall, an 18-year-old Marissa Tomei walks out, spraying her pits with some deodorant, and screams while she sees him attacking Julie, which distracts him, and Julie gets away.
I didn't even realize that was Marissa Tomei. It all happened so quick.
She doesn't really look like herself yet. Like, she's not all grown up yet.
Right. Yeah, it's super, super quick. This whole scene, I wanted to point out, was just, the movie shifted here for a minute. This particular scene, this whole like 5-10 minute scene of the chase down with Julie is not, it doesn't almost fit with the movie at all. You almost get like a horror feel from this as he's pursuing her and she's trapped.
Which the rest of this movie has almost been like an action movie with a toxic superhero. You know?
Yeah, and this is not that it's bad, but it just, the shift changes, but then changes back pretty quick too. It's almost like this doesn't need to be in the movie so much. Yeah,
this is a straight up classic slasher movie chase scene.
Right. And we don't see that side of Toxie anywhere else.
No.
At all.
That's not what he is. He fucking, he rushes in to save the day, and that's it, you know?
Just very strange. I just wanted to point that out, that I stopped and rewatched, was just like, what the fuck happened?
Right.
Is this an extra? Why is this, you know, it was strange.
Yeah, strange. I don't know. He runs by Candy Bar Lady, and she freaks out and falls into the corner. And so Julie runs downstairs right into a dead end, emphasis on the dead. She tries going up an elevator, but when it opens, Toxie's already inside and is like going up.
Dude, a fucking jump scare here, big time.
Oh, yeah? Did it get
Dude,
you?
yeah. Same with the bench we just talked about.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of see him behind, and all of a sudden, it was almost like it was cut to where you couldn't see the rest of his body. Almost like when Freddy peeks out behind that tree, and you don't see it, like that.
She continues on her way trying to open everything she comes across, including a porthole with a bunch of rats inside.
Yeah.
And she runs through another door and bars it, but Toxie just punches his way right through, cornering her for real this time. She crouches into a corner, cowering and also screaming the ugliest scream I've ever heard. She's like, ah! He grabs a pair of scissors, and much like Sleepaway Camp, all we see here is the silhouette of the scissors coming down as she screams. And then her scream turns into Bozo's scream, as we cut away and get a call back to earlier, and he tells Slug that Julie's stressing him and he can't take it. He's like, she's not here with the car and I gotta drive, Slug. I gotta drive.
Like I just need to kill somebody? Is that what he's getting at?
Basically,
Yeah,
driving for him is murder.
Okay.
Slug tells him to chill the fuck out, and that's when we see this little old lady getting out of her car, and Slug asks Bozo, how would you like to be behind the wheel of a beautiful Japanese import? And they walk over to this poor old woman trying to carry groceries into her house. And they come over to, under the guise that they're going to help her.
Right.
But they start beating the shit out of her with their own cane, singing the fucking Oh What a Feeling Today song. Like, it gets very Clockwork Orange for a second with the droogs.
Yeah, fucking Slug.
But they get into the car and drive away, leaving this poor old woman in the street, her groceries and purse just laying around her. But let's face it, probably doesn't matter at this point. She's likely dead.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant she was pretty much already dead.
I mean that too. But they're about to cross some train tracks when Toxie pops out and jumps on the roof of the car, while Bozo tries to swerve around and throw him off. And I thought it was so silly when he flipped onto the top of this car. There are just these two little yellow handlebars on top for him to hold on to.
Oh, I didn't fucking notice. So it was for the scene.
Yeah. And apparently some of this stunt they did with a dummy, of course, but some was filmed with Mitch Cohen actually on top of the car driving around.
Wow.
So Toxie reaches into the passenger window and puts a hand around Slug's throat, pulling him out of the car. Bozo yells over at him, take the wheel, Slug, I'm stressed. But then Toxie gets into the car and puts his own foot on top of Bozo's to keep the pedal pressed down.
Yeah, oh boy.
And he's getting in Bozo's face saying, oh yeah, you like this face? You know who it is? It's Melvin, that's who it is. And he kisses him a couple times. And they drive through a ladder where a dude's putting up another Mayor Belgoody sign that almost smashed into a U-Haul truck after that. Toxie grabs his face as they smash through a bunch of stuff, and Toxie asks him about the kid on the bike. He's like, oh yeah, how's that feel? And Bozo finally admits at this point that he's got problems, but he blames it on his stress.
Right.
And they spin out for a while and cause more accidents, one of which actually almost killed the stunt driver in this car that flips over because the roof collapsed due to some shoddy welding work and putting the roll bar in.
Holy shit, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was just about to say how good all of this was. You know, there's a couple car wrecks. There's a car that rolls, which must have been that one.
You know why it looks so real, Jason?
Yeah, like I said earlier, that is where a lot of the charm behind this lies, knowing that it's not just a bunch of fancy computer work. The thing that still stands out to me is that guy on fire. Like, holy fuck, man.
I think that was the best stunt by far in this movie, yeah.
It's so crazy, but yeah, that's constantly 1984 for these.
Yeah.
You know, all these scenes. It's amazing.
Yeah, Bozo keeps telling Toxie to give him the wheel because he's going to kill them both, and Toxie's like, fine, you want the wheel? Here, take it. And he rips off the fucking steering wheel from the column and hands it to him. They go rocketing through this park and over a cliff, and Toxie's laughing in the passenger seat the whole time until the car explodes. And we see Bozo laying there dead, and Toxie just gets out and dusts himself off and walks away.
He's unfazed.
We cut to a dry cleaner where this little old lady walks in and asks the proprietor about the stains on her son's pants after taking his best girl out on a date last night. She's like, I don't know what these are.
I would like to point out the emphasis of little old lady.
Yeah, she was a legit little person.
She is a small person.
Yeah. But he's like, yeah, I don't know what those are either. She's like, you think you can get him out? And that's when Mr. Wilson realizes there's a meter maid putting a ticket on his car, so he runs outside to stop her. And as soon as he walks out, Toxie walks in and stalks up behind this old lady, who's literally half his size.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he pushes the back of her head, and she gets pissed and tosses her Playgirl magazine with John Travolta on the cover on the counter.
What? I don't think I fucking noticed that. John Travolta was in Playgirl?
Yeah, well, apparently. It's on the front of this fucking cover.
Do you have a copy I could see, Dusty? Or?
No, I think I donated those.
Okay.
But, we can look around and find anyone if you're really interested.
I gotta see that.
But she turns around and she's like, hey, who do you think you're pushing? And he chases her into the back and she like navigates her way through these clothes racks until Toxie suddenly appears exactly where she's headed on the other side.
Yeah.
And he just picks her up and tosses her into a dryer, My Bloody Valentine style. And he does this fucking awful fucking racist. Back in the day, it was like a well-known thing. I don't know what it was from, but he's like, oh, no tiki, no washi. He turns the dryer on. Mr. Wilson's still outside trying to get out of his ticket, but when he comes back in, Toxie has just finished putting Mrs. Haskell into the steamer. And he yells back like, hey, what are you doing back there? You know customers aren't allowed on that machine. Now, you might wonder why Toxie attacked this poor old lady. Paper certainly does, claiming he killed an innocent woman.
Right.
But the other shoe will drop soon on that, don't worry. Back at the dump, Toxie wades through a bunch of waste, including Richard Nixon's book, 6 Crises.
Yeah, dude, there was some kind of political shit going on with here, and I just didn't know, because there's a couple things laying there. Well, first of all, there's like a McDonald's.
And the only thing I really noticed that popped out to me was the Richard Nixon book.
There was you remember the old McDonald's breakfast stuff that was like the styrofoam?
Oh, God.
There was something in there laying
like
next
egg
to that
cartons.
book. Kind of.
Yeah.
It was like a sandwich thing that was open for McDonald's. It was
right.
laying there, and you could see the McDonald's stuff on it. And then
notice.
there was the other book, and I figured they were correlated somehow.
Possibly, but I'm not smart enough to tell you why.
Let's say that's all. That'd be your realm.
So at the dump inside the shack, trailer, shed, whatever the fuck they live in, Sarah's reading her Braille book, and they set up this weird scene for some reason where she hears something and calls out to Melvin, but he won't respond to her until he's close enough to touch her face and says, oh, it's me, Sarah. It's only me. Well, why didn't you fucking say anything?
I think he's feeling a little unsure of himself. He just killed that lady, and even though he knows that it was for a reason, he's confused, and I don't know if it's the tabloids, maybe, you know?
Maybe, but like the score is ramping up here as if he is about to attack her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But she asks him if something's wrong, and he's like, everything's wrong. She's like, what have I done? He's like, it's not what you've done. It's what I've done. I think I'm out of control. You see, you're blind, Sarah. Oh, thank you for the clarification. I wasn't sure before. He's like, you don't know who I am. I'm really the monster hero you've heard about. Every day I go out and mash people. I tear them apart, and I can't stop. You've got to move back to your apartment. I don't think it's safe for you to be around me.
I mash people. Dusty mash.
But Sarah says, disagree. I couldn't leave you now. I love you, Melvin. I wish we could go somewhere. And he agrees, yeah, a place with no people where I couldn't hurt anyone anymore. She's like, oh, what about that place near Miller's Farm you used to go to when you were younger to be alone? And they pack up a bunch of shit, and we cut to them walking down the street carrying bags and camping gear and shit. And Toxie's wearing a fedora and a long coat. He's
right.
Like, do you think I look inconspicuous enough? Yeah, totally. The hulking monster with the lumpy skin and the blind girl waving her cane all over the place. You two are blending right in. Back at the police station, the mayor's reading in the paper that they finally got Toxie dead to rights. You know, the fact that he killed an innocent little old lady in a dry cleaner. But unfortunately, the chief has to burst his bubble. This lady was the head of an international white slavery ring and had a police record a mile long. Ah, okay. So you're totally good, Toxie. Keep on keeping on, brother.
Yeah. A white slavery ring?
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay.
About time. Right. Fucking white people.
The only time, or the only type of white slavery is sex slavery.
I don't know that that's true, but we're just going to move right on.
We don't need to keep that in.
The mayor asks him to kill him anyway, and the chief says, yes, mein mayor.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
Just then a guy introduces the mayor to take questions from the press, and they start asking what the administration's stance is on the whole monster hero thing. Is he a menace or a miracle? Oh, definitely a menace, according to the mayor. The mayor says there's a massive search effort as we speak to find this thing and destroy it. And another guy asks, well, shouldn't we not kill him and instead bring him in to be studied? The mayor's like, nope, it's not human, it's an it. You kill an it.
Wow. The whole it talk, kind of.
Right.
You know.
It's different in 2025.
That's what I was getting at. I mean, I don't want to break all the way into it, but you know, there's probably people that act like that now, you know.
One of the reporters asks about Mrs. Haskell, and the mayor says nothing about her sordid past, only that she was a pillar of the community with 2 fine sons.
Yeah, he's sure not to fill him in, which this is all going back to fucking Bell Goody is a fucking crooked ass cop.
Mayor. but close enough.
Fucking whatever. Same thing.
Finally, one more question as to whether the police department can handle the situation in Tromaville, and the mayor says he has every confidence they can get it done. And we cut to the cops laying out the game plan. Apparently, the governor was pulled into it, and they're willing to give them all the help they need, including the National Guard.
Oh, shit.
So one cop asks if they should break out the heavy weapons, but Officer O'Clancy from earlier reminds him that he'd be dead right now if it wasn't for the monster. Don't you think you're being just a little bit hasty?
Yeah, I agree, man.
And the chief threatens him with working a beat in the dump if he doesn't do as he's told. He just wants the monster shot and shot to kill, apparently. We cut to O'Clancy and one of the guys from the restaurant hanging out with a bunch of kids in an ice cream shop for some reason.
Yeah, dude, it's all the kids that were selling the shirts. It's almost like
Why are they all buddies now, though? The cop, the dude from the restaurant, and all these children.
It's a Toxie fan group. You know? They're rooting for him.
The kids are like under 8.
Yeah. No, we kind of see that the town ends up coming together here, and it's just... It does seem strange, but yeah, they're all just rooting for Toxie, man.
Well, yeah, they're talking about, like, somebody needs to speak up and do something before the monster gets hurt. And the one guy tells the ice cream shop owner he specifically should speak up. And the guy's like, fuck that, I don't want to lose my business license, which prompts O'Clancy to say, look, man, you can't go around just doing things just because they're right. Oh, yeah, great lesson to teach these kids. But he's like, we got to leave it up to the mayor and the police chief. The other guy's like, why would the mayor want to destroy something that does more good than the entire police force, which O'Clancy raises an eyebrow at.
Yeah, aha.
But he's like, I know how you feel. Us little guys just aren't qualified to make these decisions. Meanwhile, this one kid has been staring into the camera for like a full fucking minute.
I didn't fucking notice. He just, don't stare at the camera.
I think it's a little girl, but he's like, that's why he's the mayor, right? And this kid just nods her head. Like, uh-huh. Ice cream all over her face.
She probably didn't get paid, Dusty. It's fine.
Yeah, I would imagine probably. Well, I don't know how that works, actually, but... We cut to a full-fledged search effort. We've got cops, we got dogs. One of the cops is clearly more excited than any of the dogs could possibly be. And he's like, golly gee, it's my first day on the force and I'm chasing monsters.
Yeah, fuck that.
Your mom would be so proud.
Be calling off.
Another cop is not so excited. He's like, I'm missing the ball game for this bullshit. All we're going to find is a bunch of mosquitoes biting my fucking asshole. And his partner's had enough of his shit. Just as one of the dogs gets a scent, this guy spots the monster with his binoculars. And he's like, oh, and he's got a bimbo with him, and she's wearing a bikini.
Yeah, nice. Let me catch a little peeky.
Jesus. Now the other cop's interested all of a sudden, and he yanks the other guy by the neck, grabbing for his binoculars. He's like, let's go tell the chief. I'm going to get a medal for this. We cut to the police chief running to tell the mayor that they've located the monster, and he calls the governor up to send the National Guard. We get a nice little crisp Nazi salute. That's always a plus. And while the mayor is on the phone with the governor, he pulls his revolver out and mentions, oh, good. I'm glad you mentioned the National Guard so we can kill it. Oh, capture it, you say? Right, that's what I was thinking, too.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. Capture my ass.
Oh, no, thank you. We cut to some tanks mobilizing along with a whole convoy while Night on Bald Mountain plays yet again.
Dude, tank and jeep montage.
Some of the military personnel even think this is a bad idea. They feel bad for old Toxie when all he's been doing is taking out the trash, you know?
Right.
And we cut in with our gay buddies for a second, and the older one's like, ooh, look at all those men. A bunch of the townsfolk weigh in here saying, oh no, they can't kill the monster, we gotta do something. And we cut to a close-up shot of Toxie and Sarah's tent, and they're just snoozing away in it while the National Guard and the entirety of the population of the town of Tromaville is silently surrounding it.
Right.
Guns and tank cannons trained on the tent. Dude, poor Sarah.
Dude, doesn't somebody say something here like, they're gonna nuke him?
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're gonna nuke him from fucking 10 foot away.
Yeah, they're gonna nuke the whole fucking town.
Like the tank barrel in this next scene it's pointed directly.
Yeah, it's comical with a fucking like a wide angle lens, like a fisheye lens that fucking shows.
Like, yeah, they pulled the tank up 15 foot from the fucking tent. Like,
well, tension kind of builds as we cut between all the anticipatory expressions on the faces of all those in attendance. Finally, the mayor walks up wearing a hard hat for some reason, and one of the National Guardsmen explained Toxie's in his tent. Sounds like he's still asleep. The mayor's like, great, let's torch that sumbitch. And the guardsman's like, no, I checked with HQ again, and they want him alive.
Right.
And O'Clancy pipes up and says, hey, man, there's an innocent girl in there with him, too. And they all argue back and forth for a minute until Melvin's mom comes out of nowhere. How dare you discuss my son's life or death?
Right.
Finally, where the fuck have you been? She's like, he's a good boy. He'd never hurt anybody. But the Nazi cop yells over the crowd that orders have been given, and it's their destiny to follow the orders. Oh, right. Just following orders. That makes everything okay, right? Nuremberg be damned.
Just do what they say.
He gives a little heel click here, too. And the mayor grabs a bullhorn and yells at Toxie to come out of the tent and gives the order to shoot on sight. Sarah tells Toxie she's coming with him, and he tries to be the hero he is and tell her, no, stay behind. That's when all the good citizens of Tromaville put themselves between the National Guard and Toxie, saying, no, don't shoot, he's a good guy, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Mama says, if you want to shoot my son, you'll have to shoot me first. And that's when we get a bunch of kids getting in the way as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody loves Toxie, man.
Yeah, dude. Monster hero for life with a Y. Mayor gives the order to shoot, and O'Clancy refuses. He puts other cops' guns down and says, the kids are right. Yeah, dude, always listen to the kids.
Oh, yeah.
And Mayor's losing his mind because everyone in front of him is just putting their guns down, everyone except him. But he says, fine, fuck it, I'll do it myself. But as he fires, O'Clancy pushes his hand up so his bullet just flies into space.
Right.
And Toxie starts to stalk toward the mayor as he fires shot after shot at him. Meanwhile, we get a weird montage of the rest of the movie, basically. As Toxie walks toward him, we get little flashes of the Mexican restaurant here and the alley fight with Cigar Face there. When Toxie reaches the mayor, he cowers next to a car and screams, get away from me. And he tries to make a deal with him. He's like, I'll give you 10% of everything. Just don't hurt me. I'm too young to die.
Yeah, 10%. Motherfucker.
It's probably a good deal.
I mean, it's better than no percent, but still.
10% of what he's doing probably amounts to a hefty portion. But Toxie taps his foot at him and says, you fat slob, let's see if you have any guts. And he punches into the mayor's stomach and pulls out his fucking intestines in front of everybody.
Right.
Everyone's amazed, but nobody seems to be too upset.
Yeah, I kind of was like, oh, they're going to take him in.
To the coroner, yes.
Yeah.
I love the shot of the mayor trying to push his organs back into his body, dude.
Yeah, fucking nice.
Which does no good, of course. He falls down dead, and Toxie says, Officer O'Clancy, take care of this toxic waste. Hell yeah, fucking finally. And Sarah starts calling out for Toxie, so there's got to be one more problem to solve before we can get out of here. She's panicking because he's not right next to her, apparently. And they call out to each other a few times, and when they finally find each other, the crowd cheers and the music kicks in, and the narrator from the beginning rejoins the party to tell us, so, Melvin the monster hero rid Tromaville of all its evil, so the good citizens could live their lives in peace and happiness. And the next time you're in danger or in need of help, just look to the horizon and maybe, just maybe, the Toxic Avenger will be there. We get a quick Toxie action montage. Had to get one more of those in, too. Didn't have quite enough montages. Had to toss one more in real quick. But we cut to the credits as Body Talk plays one more time. And fucking lay it on me, Jason. How much do you love this movie?
Dude, fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, it's kind of bridging some of those borders here where we are B-horror, we are comedy, we are action, you know. But just in general, I love anything that Troma has done that I've seen. It's all fucking good. It's all fun. Am I going to say this thing should have won a fucking Oscar? Not even close. But kind of talked about Troma's
if it was
got
an
this
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah. Troma's just got this it's what you want internally that you won't really tell people. And that's why all of these people started off found on some kind of Troma low budget and have grown into these. We all love Troma, whether you want to admit it or not.
Yeah, I would think, like, I don't know. They have a pretty dedicated fan base, but at the same time, it is one of those things where it's not something you just bring up casually in conversation.
Not usually, no.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place, I guess, right?
But, I mean, this is obviously viewed pretty favorably by people. It's got a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critical reception was kind of mixed reviews, honestly. On average, it would rank in the lower half, but most critics complimented it for its dark humor and unapologetic over-the-top nature, while still calling it straight-up trash. Which I can't argue, to be honest. It is trash, but fun trash.
I love
beloved trash.
Love it.
Another man's trash is another man's Troma.
I'm really excited to see what they do with this remake. This is why we're revisiting this. That's why we're covering this. There's a lot of mixed reviews about this, too, because the dedicated fan base that you have from all the original Troma isn't too happy with what's happening now. And I'm just curious. I don't think this new one's going to be better necessarily, but the fact that there's more money involved, we're in a new age of movies, this could be fantastic. I just hope that they don't avoid any of the old Troma stuff that made it so over the top and so fucked up.
Don't polish it up to be released in 2025.
Right. We still need that
need that grit, yeah.
We need that exploitation side. We need the fucked up parts, but I'm also worried that they might, not that all of the fucked up stuff from the 80s go away. I don't want the racism or anything to stay by any means, but don't take away the shock that gave us what Troma really is.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure. Most critics called it vile, gross, and disgusting, but still claimed it had a certain charm and was at least mildly entertaining. This movie had a budget of $500,000, but it opened on 45 screens in 1986, earning $140,000 that opening weekend. So they made, coming up on a quarter of their budget back just on that first weekend.
Good,
no, but I mean, for this movie, it's fine.
Right.
And it also had a long run at the Bleecker Street Cinema single screen in New York City as the midnight movie through 1985 and years after that, actually, too. But in years since, it's developed a pretty significant following along with the rest of Troma, catering to a very specific demographic. But yeah, we had, you mentioned earlier, Part 2 in 89, Part 3, The Last Temptation of Toxie in 89 as well, Citizen Toxie in 2000, which I love how they made those plays on previously existing classic cinema, The Last Temptation of Christ, Citizen Kane. There was also a Toxic Crusaders TV show in 1991, Toxic Avenger musical in 2008, Toxic Crusaders video game in 92, and another scheduled to drop any time now with the same name.
Oh, shit.
And of course, the reason we're covering this movie is the new Toxic Avenger reboot that has been in the works apparently since 2023, but is actually dropping in just 10 days on August 29th.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, this is a movie. I'm pretty sure it's a movie. It's definitely a movie, but obviously one that caters, as I said, to a very specific demographic. If you don't like boobs, butts, kids being murdered, disgusting oozy gore and gratuitous violence, racial slurs, homophobic slurs, inappropriate advances being made toward children, etc., 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 ad nauseum, this may very well not be the movie for you, but it entertained me enough, I guess. It had been years and years and years since my weirdo brother showed this movie to me when I was way too young, and it made me feel dirty inside. And guess what? 25-ish years later, it still makes me feel dirty inside.
It's great.
But at least I'm much more equipped to grasp what's happening within it.
Right.
And I will say that a fair amount of the humor does land for me. I'm not crazy about some of the things I mentioned up top, but I feel like the critics' takes on this were pretty appropriate for the most part. Then again, that's Troma's bread and butter, dude. Like, over the top. Just how far can we go? Right. How many boobs can we fit into this movie? How many kids can we violently murder? In how many disgusting ways? Can we get someone to masturbate to gory corpse photos? Okay, cool. Let's fucking go. And it turns out there's a pretty decent market out there for it. Troma's still doing just fine. You see him in large numbers at every con you go to. So that really speaks to the human experience, you know? And underneath it all, we've got, we all have weird, dark, disgusting impulses inside us. And thank goodness that something like this exists that we can live vicariously through the screen as opposed to actually carrying it out in any of the real world, right?
Right.
And I think in technical terms here, this is much closer to the lower end of the spectrum in many respects. Obviously, the script is not great. The cinematography is just barely passable for a student film. Somehow still strikes a certain nostalgic chord due to the overall grit of the film itself, I think. But the score and soundtrack are a little better than the camera work. I love Body Talk. I've been walking around singing it since I watched the movie. Kind of a bop. But I'm not sure why they insisted on using Night on Bald Mountain so many times. I understand that it was like Toxie's theme after a bit, but they even used it a time or two when he was nowhere to be seen. So I think it was just a budget thing maybe, like, oh, hey, we need some music here. Fuck, we are not paying for the rights to another song. Just toss that son of a bitch in there again.
I mean, the budget actually kind of surprised me. You said $500,000 in 1984.
Crazy as shit, right?
That's kind of huge for a fucking indie movie. So that kind of caught me off guard, watching the movie. I didn't think they had $500,000 at all.
Sure doesn't seem that way, does
No.
it? What do they do with the rest of that money?
It's 84, Dusty. What do you think?
Don't you remember the guys in the truck?
Yeah.
I'm also not sure why quite so many montages. The people in this town don't live in Tromaville. They live in fucking Montage City. Every 2 minutes we get a montage, which I feel like is lazy filmmaking in terms of creativity and confidence within your script and actors. But it actually kind of gives you more work, setting up all these scenes that only get 3 seconds of screen time. A bit of a strange choice, I feel like.
I think it's 80s, man.
Yeah, we were montage happy in the 80s for sure.
I'm mostly a horror guy, but I love me some action 80s stuff, Bloodsport, anything with fucking Arnold,
right. Training montages.
I was going to say, when's the last time you've seen like Bloodsport? It's nothing. It's just montage, cheesy 80s music. It kind of fits. I get what you're saying, but it would be a little bit more work. Yeah, for sure.
But I will say, even for a low-budget, terribly acted movie, the star here is most definitely the special effects. Jennifer Aspinall made a name for herself with this in Spookies, like I mentioned before, and for good reason, dude. All the gore in this is pretty well done, particularly the Toxie transformation. It's just a fucking bubbly, spewing, smoky, sizzling, toxic nightmare, and I'm fucking for sure here for that.
Crosses into body horror. It's fantastic.
Absolutely, dude. Cronenberg, eat your heart out.
Right.
But the design of Toxie himself, it's a bit of a conundrum for me because it simultaneously looks like trash and is perfect and amazing. Right. And I love it.
Trauma.
Not that I've seen a lot of toxic waste barrel dive victims, but hey, this looks pretty legit, and it gave us a pretty good mascot for the fans of the franchise for sure. And overall, the tone is good-natured enough and tries to teach us some moral lessons, like don't sell a 12-year-old to sex trafficking rings. Don't try to rape blind women in Mexican restaurants, or toxic monsters will rip your fucking arm off. But beyond that, let's just have fun. Let's just do the silliest shit we can think of and just have fun with it.
Right.
I gave this 4 out of 10 toxic tutus.
4 out of 10?
Yeah, it's not a great movie, Jason.
I'm on the other side, dude.
That's good for you. I'm trying to be fair about the quality of this movie as compared to other movies that we've covered.
I wanted to discuss part 2 for next season.
You want to revisit? Okay.
I do, but
this just in, Jason is actually not going to be continuing along with the pod.
More trash, please.
Well,
more
all right.
Toxic
I gave it 4 out of 10 toxic tutus. What do you got for me? Give it a number rating here real quick.
I'm like on the other end. I'm thinking like 8 out of 10. This is fun. This is good.
I'm not arguing for a second that it's a lot of fun.
I think the bigger thing is just our takes on the horror that we enjoy. I want more of the shocking. That's why I talked about just Leroy pointing the gun at that kid in that scene. Just changed the movie in general. You don't see that. So people are scared to do that.
Right. But and you're saying like, don't give me so much to chew on while I'm waiting for a slow burn to build. Just give me, I want my eyeballs to eat good the whole time.
Dude, fuck yeah. And one thing too that I noticed is there wasn't a lot of slow in here. We had 82 minutes. It kind of slowed, but I was taking notes very quickly the entire movie.
That's fair.
On your toes.
I kind of had the opposite because while this does move quick and there's a lot happening in it, I feel like because of the fact that a lot of the scenes are just so disjointed and don't make sense up against each other, it makes it feel like you're watching many things in the same sitting, almost like you're binging a fucking an episode or a season of something on Netflix.
Right.
So it makes it feel like it's dragging out for me personally.
Right.
But I mean, hey, if this is in your wheelhouse, you probably already have it in your collection. If not, you're probably fine to skip it. Like I said, it's it's for a very specific and likely small portion of the population. But that's just fine. We need stuff like that to exist for different reasons than we need things like The Shining and Get Out, like different strokes for different folks. But that's going to wrap us up for this time. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We had a good time. Hope you did too, as always. And remember, dreams are fleeting. Only nightmares last forever. Follow your nightmares.
Kill our mommy.
I bid you welcome.
Thanks for listening to the Cinobites Podcast. If you like what you heard, follow us on our socials at Cinobites Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review. It really goes a long way in helping us reach more listeners.
You can stream the Cinobites on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and many more popular streaming platforms and YouTube.
Questions or comments? Suggestions for future episodes? Contact us at cinebitespod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show and help us make it a better product for you, subscribe at cinebitespod.buzzsprout.com.
Until next time, keep following those nightmares.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Satan is good. Satan is a pal.
A nice satanic comedy from Trauma.